All right.
I just have it on the intro screen for now. And, I don't know, afterward.
Oh, Banjo Kazooie posted already. That's awesome.
Good job, Banjo Tooie.
It took me a second to realize what the fuck Swedish was talking about there.
Oh, is it Banjo Tooie? It is Banjo
Yeah,
Tooie.
it's
I
Banjo
fucked up.
Tooie.
Damn it.
It's the bad one.
Fuck
Damn.
you, it's not. Jen will back me up on that.
Man, I can't wait for next Rebel-thon where we get to change its name to Tip Top.
Oh, yeah.
Bruh.
If I win
Second
the
best
next
Diddy Kong racing
Rebel-thon, I'm
character.
renaming it to...
Looking at the Diddy Kong Racing.
Pepsi is number 1.
Bro,
Oh,
Bunker the
Fitz.
Badger went to jail.
He did. Canonically.
And to be fair, we are late because I was waiting to see if Jen would be able to make it to the beginning of the stream.
She did
Also,
not.
hello, Fitz. I made it instead. I beat COVID. I did not beat COVID. I still actively have COVID.
Still,
Actively beating COVID.
I'm actively getting beat by COVID right now in a back alley. Somebody send help.
Live on Twitch.
Will I beat the COVID allegations?
Next time on Dragon Ball Z. The Swedish
February
Aces
1st, live on Twitch. Will Swedish defeat the COVID allegations?
The Swedish Ace is locked in a devastating battle with the COVID virus.
You'll never defeat me, Kara.
You only have 5 minutes before the virus ravages your body. It's been
Will the
7
enemy-
days.
Will the antibiotics get there in time to save him? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I both adore and hate this.
All
Is
right,
it
welcome
any
to
worse
our
than the
backup
shit
stream
I
idea.
said before?
I mean, honestly, if it were an hour later, I would probably do some fucking... I would have done some Persona 3 waiting for Jen to get here. But, that being said, it is not an hour later. It is now.
Oh, does that remake come out?
Yeah, it is out as of 9 p.m. tonight.
Oh.
9 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
Midnight Eastern.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
9 p.m. in the time zone that counts.
9 p.m. in the fuck you.
2 a.m. in the p.m.
But so, last
I know what that is.
time.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was about to ask, does anybody know what the fuck I'm referencing?
2 in the a.m., 1 in the p.m.
Not 2 in the a.m. p.m. It's a short film. It's what led to regular show.
Yeah.
In a roundabout way, also, fucking the other one that he did that's no longer on Max.
Close enough. I wish I should have fucking watched it.
Yeah, same.
That's gone forever.
The last time we were doing this, it was 2 weeks ago now, I think.
Yeah.
The before I got sick.
Yeah, I think it was about 2 weeks ago.
And the last Pokemon we ranked, I believe, was Alolan Golem.
Yep.
Yes.
And we considered it a solid team member because I do remember training one, and it was pretty solid.
Golem is just a good enough design.
Mm-hmm.
And Rock Electric, I think, or Ground Electric, whichever it is
Rock Electric.
Rock Electric.
It's a more solid typing than Rock Ground because you take away the fucking 4x weakness, at least to water.
There is a reason we've not had another Rock Ground Pokemon since Gen 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is just a not good typing.
It's also just really redundant anyhow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two times weaknesses is not good.
Yeah.
Yes, so then
But
next up, we would have...
Alright, so let's hop into the Ponyta line.
And Honestly, those sure are
We
a
saw.
set of Pokemon.
I was gonna say I feel nothing for Cantonian.
I love Ponyta and Rapidash's designs. I fucking love the gimmick of the main being fire. Like, yes. I'm sorry, if you're gonna rank Vulpix and Ninetales where they are, and you're gonna put fucking Ponyta and fucking Rapidash in anything lower than solid team member, what the fuck is wrong with you? They are actually designed. Vulpix and Ninetales really aren't.
Are they though?
In my defense,
Are they really designed?
I would have
Gremlin
put
is just a dog.
Vulpix, Ninetales, and the Alolan Vulpix all in these sure are Pokemon as well. Because I've never trained a single Vulpix or Ninetales.
See, I just have the anime attachment and design attachment to like Ninetales specifically. Like Vulpix are like whatever. But the thing with Ponyta and Rapidash, and the reason that I personally have this difficulty of parsing them as anything other than these sure are Pokemon, lead to exactly the same thing that y'all were talking about. I've never trained a Ponyta Rapidash to be a part of my team. And
Oh, neither have I.
Design wise,
Yeah.
I do think they have good designs. It's the fact that competitively, they're outclassed by a lot of other fire type Pokemon that came out in this generation. And so they kind of became irrelevant very, very quickly. So for me, it just kind of became one of those things where it's just like Ponyta is a Pokemon, never really paid it a whole lot of attention until later.
So here's my big gripe with them. My big gripe with the Ponyta line is a lot of what I'm going to echo a lot of what Sex said. They're very much outclassed by a lot of other fire types. In the first 3 gens, they're very outclassed because they're more physical attackers instead of special attackers. All fire type moves were considered special attacks. The one thing that grinds my gears the most about Ponyta and Rapidash is that no matter where they show up in any game, they never fit a team well because Ponyta does not evolve into Rapidash until level 40. Why the fuck does this bullshit ass horse that has garbage stats and then evolves into something with mediocre stats take me until about the 8th badge? Getting this thing in Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, where it is literally actually only Diamond and Pearl, where it is literally your only fire type option unless you picked Chimchar, is the worst thing ever. You might as well just not use a fire type. Just give something a fire type TM. Holy God. I've never used one of these things before, and I don't think I ever will. And I'm going to be honest, it's just a horse with fire on its mane.
Oh, that's cool.
It's just a horse. Rapidash is just a horse with a horn on its head. It's just a unicorn.
It's not just a horse. It's got the fire going. At least it does something. It's not like Pidgey, I'm a bird. At least it's not.
Yes.
At least it's not Bellsprout. Literal flower. That's it. That's all Bellsprout is.
My
and
personal.
It's literally just a snake.
Yes, and they're all in those sure are Pokemon.
Yeah. Ponyta does something different with its design. Like, it could have just been a normal main... Like, look at fucking Mudbray. Like, what is visually distinctive about that? That's literally just a fucking horse.
Yeah,
mostly the fact. We'll get there.
Rep, you were trying to say.
My personal ranking here would be to place Ponyta, Cantonian Ponyta, in This Sure is a Pokemon. Galarian Ponyta and Rapidash in Solid Team Member, and Rapidash in Solid Team Member.
I would be
can
willing
agree
to
with
put.
that.
I would be willing to put Rapidash into Solid Team Member. Ponyta, I feel like, goes into these sharp Pokemon. And be fair, I'm not talking about the Galarian form. forms yet. I'm only just talking about Kanto forms.
Yeah,
if that is the compromise that has to be made, I am okay with that, because because you have to remember, Gen 1 Pokemon, they don't really do too much with them. Like, how many Pokemon have like crazy designs in Gen 1? Not very many. A lot of them are just idea with a twist. So
they
like
don't. And
Fire Horse rules.
No,
they weren't. Fair. But if I was grading them in the year of our Lord 1998, yes, you'd have a point. It's the year of our Lord 2024, and there's 1,000 of these things. We've advanced.
If this was sec rating things, I'd actually have them switched. Because
Interesting.
I don't know. I kind of like the black beady eyes of Ponyta for some reason a little more than like Rapidash's.
I get that.
Anime
I get that.
But
I like the it becomes like a unicorn. I like how much more crazy the fire is on Rapidash. Like it literally feels like more powerful Ponyta, which some evolutions sort of lose that effect.
That, and also Ponyta has the better shiny compared to Rapidash, because Rapidash's flame becomes like gray purple, and Ponyta's is blue.
I like that, but both of those sound great to me.
They are very good shinies, but the Pokemon itself just isn't really worth it. Now, Galarian Ponyta and Rapidash.
My little pony, my little pony.
Yeah, that. Also, they're really good.
They are.
They're really good.
Much better stat-wise.
I'd be willing to put both of them into solid team member, but there is part of me that's like, honestly, Galarian Rapidash probably deserves to be an
I honestly would be okay with Galarian Ponyta being solid team member and Galarian Rapidash being because to me, literally, it's Galarian Ponyta is fucking, I'm just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be a 10. And then there's fucking regular Ponyta, which is, my name's Pete and I like drugs. I'm mentally ill and I'm on drugs.
I can get behind Galarian Rapidash.
Yeah, I mean, they're cute. They look like they're made of cotton candy.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like the only issue I had, like, if the color scheme wasn't what it is for them, they're just fucking horses, dude. They're not that interesting looking. They're just fucking horses.
Also, Galarian Rapidash, great typing. Great fucking typing. It's Psychic Fairy. It's only a Psychic type when it's Galarian Ponyta, but fucking you add that Fairy typing in, and that thing fucking murders with Psycho Cut and Play Rough.
Yep.
Next up on the docket is...
Oh, it's the fucking boy.
5 instances of the boy.
How do you not love the boy?
How do you not love Slowpoke?
How do you not love the boy?
Honestly, top.
I'm okay with putting him in I Want to Be the Very Best.
Wow, I would not go that far. Holy shit.
Well,
I would put them in Surskit Noise, all of them.
Okay, I wouldn't mind putting regular Slowpoke in Surskit Noise. If he went in the very best, I wouldn't mind it either. I don't have that much of an attachment to this line. To be completely honest, my main attachment is the anime.
Here's the funny thing. If I was going to put, like, of the 5, if I were going to put any one of them in the very best, it would be base normal Slowpoke.
That's the thing. Me too. Like, Slowpoke.
I would be fine putting him in the very best. But I don't think all 5 of them deserve to be up there.
I agree with that.
No, not all 5.
Not all 5.
However, they are pretty based.
There is one that maybe I might campaign a little bit for.
There is one that I'm looking at here that in my opinion, does not go past the Charmeleon line.
Okay, Galarian Slowpoke.
And that's Galarian Slowpoke.
Homer
That's
Slowpoke.
not the one I'm discussing.
Galarian Slowpoke.
I like him.
I mean, I like him, but there's not much of a difference in the fact that his head's yellow and his tail is yellow. I mean, the basis for that is that, like, apparently in Galar, it's putting out like a spice from its head and tail, which is what causes the different
Oh, so white people can't
evolutions.
have Galarian Slowpoke?
Yes, correct.
Sweet.
Congratulations, you did it. You
It's
figured
not
it
that white people can't have him; it's that white people don't use him.
Mm-hmm.
out.
Correct.
And it's for that reason that he deserves to be an app.
I mean, I still like it, and I
Yeah,
like the concept of Galarian Slowpoke. I
I would
like
put
where
him
it
in
evolves. I'd put him in solid team member because I like the evolutions better. The evolutions get a bit more unique, but we'll get there. I'd say solid team member, but if anyone else wants to put him in I'm cool with
More accurately, I think I'm more solid team member than
Yeah,
because I don't know. Like
he's on that line. So
for some
if
reason,
Hitman you're feeling more like solid team member, I'm not gonna argue against that too much. Like that feels right.
it's like adding detail to something that was already perfect. You know, like you didn't need to do it.
Okay, Slowbro. Oh,
That's Surskit noise. Look at his
this is
face.
Surskit noise, and I love the concept of it. I will say, there's two things I need to bring up here. The first thing is competitive. Oh my god, this thing has been a terror and competitive for years.
This thing is a fucking terror in Pokemon Stadium still.
It is. This
He
thing
is a
is
bitch.
this thing is
Fuck him.
horrifying because it is incredibly bulky, and once it gained recovery in slack off, oh my god, you couldn't take this thing down. And regenerator is an ability.
Yep.
My only thing is that and this is just a more of a thing with the Pokemon Company in general, is the shelter on the tail. That was supposed to be like an original design of either Shelter or Cloyster that's on the tail. And what happened was they changed the design of Shelter Cloyster and then just didn't change the design of what was on Slowpoke's tail. They just were like, yeah, that's a Shelter. Just accept it. Just accept it, you bunch of weirdos. That's Shelter on his tail. And everyone was like, well, why does he look so different? Because he does. Because he's attached to Slowpoke's tail. He's different. And that's more on, I think, Pokemon's fault and the weirdness of Gen 1 and what they cut out and didn't cut out and changed and didn't change.
Yeah,
But that doesn't negate that Slowbro is
awesome.
fucking cool and a great Pokemon to have on your team. I hate that usually the Slowpoke line, I've never used one because they always come around a little late in the playthrough, and by then I already have a team set up, and I don't want to wait until level 38 to evolve a Slowpoke into Slowbro.
Yep.
But when I have used them in games like Stadium or like a Battle Factory or something like that, Ace, fucking always a good Pokemon.
Yep.
He's just a vibe. Look at him. He's just living his best life.
I had the VHS that had Island of the Giant Pokemon, the episode on it, which is, of course, is the episode that has Slowpoke debut in. And I always remember the end of that episode because he literally has just been laying on the beach all day long with his tail in the water. And then at the end of the episode, as the sun's setting, he just goes, Slowpoke? He raises his tail up out of the water. There's a shoulder on it. He stands up on his hind legs, just kind of slowly turns to the camera, and then just goes, Slowbro. And then the episode ends.
That's awesome. That rules.
Fucking great.
So about that Mega Evolution, huh?
That Mega
So
Evolution.
again, if this thing makes it above the Charmeleon line, I'm going to be upset.
Oh, it's not. It's going to prison.
Look, I get
For
what
me.
they were going for. They were going for like the shelter itself is just
It's consuming him. Yeah.
eating him entirely. The shelter got more mega evolved than Slowpoke did. And this thing is a defensive monster. Oh my god, once it mega evolves, it takes forever to kill this thing. Its defenses are ridiculous.
I don't doubt that. It's just
But
why?
it's so dumb looking.
It looks
does he
like
turn into a
Homer
top?
Simpson. It looks like Homer Simpson wearing a fucking.
Why does he
moon
turn
boot.
in? Why does he turn into a spinning top?
Why is he a Beyblade? And like not even a cool one. Yeah, that's prison, baby. That's
no,
bad.
it's not. I don't think it's prison, but it's gay baby jail.
I can
It's
put it in
too-
either.
Fine.
It's too good competitively for me to put it
Fine.
in actual prison, but gay baby jail, sure.
I'll bend.
Fine.
Jail.
I'll give you your competitive. It can go to gay baby
Sure
jail.
enough, Rep loves this Pokemon, so it's going all the way to the top.
And then we have Galarian
No, fuck that
Slowbro,
bitch.
which I...
Fuck Mega Slowbro. I mean, Galarian Slowbro I actually kind of dig.
I love it. I love the Morningstar fist.
The gun fist.
I was gonna say, so he just becomes Mega Man. He gains
Yeah,
is
like
it a gun?
Yeah,
it's a gun. It's a gun and both like a mace, because he's a physical attacker now. Now that he is evolved, he is a poison psychic type physical attacker, and the Shelder bit him on the arm because I think if you look at Galarian Slowpoke, its arms are also yellow.
Yeah.
And the whole deal is that the Shelder bites onto where the spices are, and the spice mutates the Shelder into different things, which then in turn mutates Slowpoke.
So, okay. So it becomes a gunner, but it's a physical attacker.
Its main move is a physical move.
Okay, I was going to say
the sidearm attack. I forget what the fucking name it
exactly.
is.
So my brain, when I know about that sidearm, whatever it's called, he's firing it like a gun, but it's a physical attack.
I know, it's a physical attack. It's
weird.
So
here's the thing. Bullets are made of physical material. There you go.
Yes.
Lead is physical. Therefore, Slowbro has the GAT on him, and he is also a physical attacker.
On him. So yeah, I don't like him as much, is the thing. So
really?
Like, it's nostalgia, I guess, blinded me a little bit. Like, I love Mega Man, so there's a part of me is like, well, he's got a Mega Buster. Of course I love him, but it's just, I don't know why.
I like the purple. I like that they took something.
Oh, I'm wrong. It's a special move.
Okay,
Shell
so that
sidearm is a special move.
So that moves him even further down if he's a physical.
Wait, no. This move is either physical or special damage, whichever will inflict more damage. This may also poison the target.
What? Okay, so he just gets flying press, but physical special split.
Because he has both 100 attack and 100 special attack, and then whichever one you invest the most into, that is what Shell sidearm will be.
Okay.
All right. That's interesting. So I like, from a design standpoint, like, don't like, can you put him next to normal Slowbro on the tier list? Just like drop him there for a second so we can like just look at them next to each other. This isn't like permanent here. I'm not gonna dupe you that way, but like, look at how they took something familiar and kept it similar, but changed it up enough.
Yes.
That it makes it way more unique, with not just the color scheming, but also like the placement of the shell. Because like that's an interesting gimmick.
Yeah, this is a great regional form.
Yeah.
Because it's enough that people would be like, yeah, that's Slowbro. But at the same time, they're like, oh, that's fucking cool that Slowbro is now a fucking gun.
It's cooler, says Slowbro, the cooler Slowbro.
He's got a gun for an arm. Put him in eye.
Fine.
I mean, yes, I want him there. That's where I want.
Yeah, I want him there too.
Fine. I will not fight it.
So hello, Jen.
Hello. Hi. I didn't mean to be this fucking late. It just kind of happened. Girls were talking.
That's okay.
I don't know what else to say.
The girls were talking.
For real, that is the reason why I was not here literally half an hour ago.
It's okay.
So we got through Slowbro. So
yeah, so
so all you've missed is Ponyta is in these Shura Pokemon. Galarian, Ponyta, and Rapidash are in Solid Team Member. Galarian Rapidash is in Slowpoke is in Very Best. Slowbro and Galarian Slowbro are in Galarian Slowpoke is in Solid Team Member, and Mega Slowbro is in Gay Baby Joe.
With
also bitch.
Strong consideration for actual prison. but him being good competitively kept him out of jail.
I agree with all this.
AKA, I kept him out of jail.
I was gonna say, so you kept him out of jail.
Hitman gave him community service.
I put him in Weenie Hut Juniors instead of Super Weenie Hut Juniors.
Magnemite.
Eating my food, so if that is being audibly heard, please let me know.
Okay. Magnemite is a weird concept of a Pokemon.
It
is this floating ball that has magnets on both sides and then has one eyeball and some screws in it.
I love the design of Magnemite.
I think he's great. I think he's cool, but I don't think he's cool. I think he's a weird concept, but I think he's a concept that works.
Yeah, he's a weird concept that works because, like, what is this, the 90s? Like, people don't really understand what robots are going to be.
Fucking magnets. How do they work?
Yeah, like...
Pretty much the concept.
It's like, how do you make, like... literally think about it. It's the 90s. You have Pokemon. You have all these typings, and it's like, okay, we need to make Pokemon for these typings. How the fuck do you make electric Pokemon? What do you do? What do you even do? So I think that's what leads to, like, what we've got for electric types in Gen 1. You have the iconic one and well, we did our best. And you know what? Sometimes their best was good enough and succeeded. I'm gonna be weird and say, I rank Magnemite higher than Magneton.
No, you're not going to get a whole lot of pushback from that.
I was going to say, Magneton is just 3 Magnemites.
Yeah. Like, Stadium specifically renders it really weird where they're not even touching.
Yeah. Snap.
I like it in... Yeah, well, yeah, I like it in Snap.
So are we doing...
Okay, so my thing
team member or
my thing with Magnemite and Magneton is that I say Magnemite is a solid team member.
I'd be willing to go that far.
I like him. I think they're cool in the anime. I like their voice. They're the first Pokemon to ever switch types between generations when the Steel type was introduced. Magneton goes in solid team member too because it's literally just 3 of Magnemite.
As you say, I don't think I can realistically rank it higher than the other.
I would put. If we were building these tiers ranked within themselves, I would probably put Magnemite closer to Surskit Noise and keep Magneton closer to the Shore Pokemon. That's how I would do it.
I used one of these in both. I think I've used one in Fire Red Leaf Green, and then I've also used one in Alpha Sapphire. Super fun Pokemon, especially once it gains the Steel typing, and not a whole lot can really hurt it physically.
Metal Ball.
Great special attack.
Oh, Jill, by the way.
Jill, what's the Angry Ape thing as your... Oh, Electabuzz. You forgot Pikachu, though, Jilla. You forgot, like, the most iconic electric type of all fucking time in that list.
Alright. But yeah, I like both of them being in solid team member. They're great.
Yeah.
And then there's the duck.
I'm gonna be upset in this conversation. There we go. I'm with Jen.
No.
I'm with Jen.
No.
I will relent to solid team member.
No. This thing is garbage. I hate this thing. This thing was rare for no fucking reason in Generation 1. Its stats are garbage.
Are you literally able to get it outside of the trade?
It
was the easiest way to get it?
No. In Red and Blue, no. In Yellow, you could get it on one of the routes east of Viridian City. It was very rare, but you could find it. But it's not worth it. You'd be better off keeping that fucking Spearow and evolving it into Fearow than getting this godforsaken little thing that has dog shit stats, dog shit typing that every other fucking normal flying... Look at those things that are just to the right of it. The Doduo and the Dodrio. fucking ace Pokemon compared to this little piece of shit. I hate this thing. It sucks. It's bad. The fucking Galarian one is an incredible improvement over it.
Yes.
Put this thing in. If we have to make a conclusion of gay baby jail, I'm fine with that, but I want it in actual prison.
I love Farfetched's design.
Yeah. He has so much personality in his design and his...
Like, he's ready to fight a bitch.
It's very
He's ready to be cooked with it. It's the joke.
Correct.
Exactly. However, I completely agree with Hitman on the gameplay standpoint of things when it comes to the original Farfetch'd. It is a terrible Pokemon to have on your team.
It's okay to be bitches. It's fine.
I would go as high as sure as a Pokemon, just because I like the design enough.
Yeah, the design does a lot of heavy lifting, in my opinion.
I was going to say, the design is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Here's the thing, Jen. Here's the thing. Galarian Farfetch'd, I would go as far as because when we get to its evolution, I'm campaigning hard for him.
I say that's a market improvement.
I was going to say, I would go with solid team member for both. I can agree to Deep Star Pokemon is the cap for Cantonian Farfetch'd, but I would be hella down for or solid team for Galarian.
You can have your opinion. I'm not moving mine.
I'll go as high as putting it as sure our Pokemon, and that's as far as I go.
His design, look at his design compared to Charmeleon.
Fine.
You're gonna look at Farfetch'd's design, where he's very expressive, he's got character behind him, and you're gonna say that is underneath the Charmeleon line.
He's sheer fucking expressive when he fucking bites it in one damn hit.
He probably has some of the most fun animations in Pokemon Stadium.
Oh, his animations are fun. I love him using Fly, where he has to put the leak in his mouth while he flies. It's great. However, he then hits that Fly and does fuck all for damage.
Correct. He's doing his best.
And I love him for it.
Now,
it's not my fault you'll never have children, Hitman.
All right, Galarian
Farfetch'd, solid team member or above. I'm okay with Surskit noise. I wouldn't put it as very best. I'm okay with solid or Surskit noise for Galarian.
I have no opinion. I'll go on.
Galarian Farfetch'd, and I actually want to say
I love that you went in and be like, now wait a moment.
I got nothing for.
I will say,
Farfetch'd.
I've never used one of these, but the portrayal in the anime, is amazing. Spoilers for our Journeys watch through. Ash gets one of these, and it's great. I love him so much.
He does seem like cooler, so I'm okay with this. Because I would have been okay with normal Farfetch'd being in Surskit noise. Honestly,
real for real.
So here's what I will say. Design-wise, Galarian Farfetch'd is worse. Gameplay-wise, it is so much better.
Yes.
And so for me, as much as I'm just like, I'm more willing to give Galarian Farfetch'd if only just because what it becomes is like legitimately one of my favorite Pokemon. I would probably say that for me, the highest I'd personally be willing to go for Galarian Farfetch'd is solid team member.
It's like the Abra conundrum for me.
Exactly.
Like, I only like Abra as much as I do because of what he eventually becomes. Now, I like Abra a lot, just normally design-wise.
Right.
But the fact that it becomes Alakazam does a lot of heavy lifting with that as well.
Yeah.
I feel like this is me being an asshole. I feel like that's not a valid way to judge that Pokemon into what it becomes. Because that's not what that Pokemon is.
That's very fair. So, like I said, I do think Galarian Farfetch'd is more of a solid team member because, like I said, it's better than the original. does eventually become something better, but in and of itself, its evolution method is kind of annoying. Maybe not as annoying as
Yeah, you're
Basculegion,
wrong. You're
because
right.
you have to get 3 critical hits, and I forget if it's 3 critical hits in a single
In the
fight.
same battle.
Okay, so again, that does move him down because to get him to evolve is so annoying.
Look, it's not his fault he was made with dog shit game design involved, alright?
I
He's
mean,
trying his best.
it's better than Runerigus, where you have to go to like
Oh
underneath
my
a specific
God.
arch somewhere in the middle of
I think
nowhere.
Sword and Shield is a mistake, actually.
Yeah.
Or when he has a certain amount of health.
Fucking Christ.
See, I personally enjoy them having all these weird, stupid ways of having Pokemon evolve now.
I would love them if they were fun.
I want a
Like
Machamp.
Inkay.
I would love
fun.
Exactly. Inkay is literally turning the system upside down. That's cute. That's easy to do.
Yeah.
I can't.
I want a fighting dark type
Pokemon would be
Machamp
good games in
that's
general
just
if
a
they were
heal
fun.
wrestler
True.
that you can only evolve that way if it gets knocked out 10 times.
Just put the metaphorical gun to my head.
Bro, you have Incineroar.
Fucking Cineroar.
Incineroar is cool!
We'll get there.
Doduo.
Oh,
Oh, I love these things.
I do love them.
I used to hate them. I have come around very
These things-
quickly on them.
I'll say this right now, and this might piss some people. This is gonna piss you, Pidgeot and Fearow and Golbat apologists off.
Shit.
This is the best. This is the best flying type in Kanto, baby.
It's true.
But it's not. That's not legendary.
It's true.
Well, yeah, we don't count legendary.
Okay, so the reason I love Doduo and Dodrio now is number one, I've played a little bit more Pokemon Stadium as I've gotten older, and I've realized that Tri-Attack fucking rules.
Yes, it does.
And it is stab on Dodrio.
True.
Yep.
Number two, they are based on Kiwi birds.
True.
Their shiny has them kiwi colored.
Yes.
End discussion.
Okay.
They're great.
They
I love them.
They are kiwi green. They are kiwi birds where their shiny is kiwi green. That's awesome. It's the only Gen 1 shiny that makes sense.
They are literally a mix of some of the coolest flightless birds, kiwis and emus and ostriches. I love this is the one Pokemon that, to me, that out of all the Kanto ones of, okay, I evolve and I get an extra head, unlike Dugtrio, unlike Magneton, unlike Exeggutor, these have personality when it comes to that. Every single Pokedex entry makes a point of being like, hey, the 3 Dodrio heads constantly bicker with one another. They all 3 have different personalities. One of them ends up being more dominant than the other 2, usually. One of them constantly has to be awake when they sleep.
It's the King Ghidorah of Pokemon.
Which is funny considering that there's literally a dragon type with 3 heads.
I know it, but it's the good King Ghidorah of Pokemon.
We'll get there.
I'm saying it now. It's the good King Ghidorah of Pokemon. Honestly, for me, like, Dodrio is straight up just one of my favorite flying types, period. I don't know if I could move it into very best that ever was. If only just because of, like, the fact that it is a flying type, the fact that it is a normal type. I would say Surskit.
It's Surskit noise, absolutely. Also, Swedish, you want to talk about having funny animations. This thing using fly is
It just
hilarious.
jumps really good.
It just runs in the air.
Yep.
I was to say, it very much feels like Dodrio's bottom, the floor for it, is...
Yeah, the floor is
Dodrio rules. All right. Next up is a fucking seal.
Gay
It's
baby
seal, baby. That's a solid team member.
It sure is a Pokemon.
I'd say Seal's at least a solid team member.
I'd say it's a gay baby.
I would put
What
it
the fuck?
in Deshaw
I think
Pokemon.
Seal is cute.
It's adorable. Its name is Seal, and it's a seal.
It's a seal.
Same with Dugong.
is.
You know what? Yeah, they both are
Dugong,
short
though.
Pokemon.
I would put in solid team member.
The only thing Dugong has going for it is its voice in the anime. It has the
And-
dumbest fucking voice.
and
in the
that's
anime.
valid.
Fine.
But
I would
otherwise,
see them both going into these shorter Pokemon. I like Dugong's original Pokemon card is very cool, and I love it, and it's cute, and so is Seal. Seal is also very cute and doofy faced. He's shaped like a friend, but yeah, they're not.
Cute.
They're not. It's just a seal. It is
very
just
cute.
a seal.
It's just a seal.
look,
Girl.
Dugong had its time in the sun in Gen 1 when it was like one of only 5 ice types you could get a hold of, and that thing could murder the shit out of Lance. Its stats are middling. It literally, Seals and Dugongs are actual animals, and they look almost exactly similar to what these things are.
Yep.
And
yet you all argued that Growlithe was good, even though Growlithe is just a dog. For the
I
same
was gonna
logic.
say,
For the same
And?
logic.
No.
At
Because
least
Growlithe
I'm
is
consistent.
good.
I'm
Growlithe
using
is a
Seal and
great-
Dugong to try to drag Growlithe and Arcanine down into hell where they belong.
that's because you're a
You can-
bitch and you know it.
Well, you can have fun. Not
One more
doing that.
word and Growlithe goes in the very best.
No, you're damn right. No,
Just
you're
wait,
real
just
for
wait.
that. It's after Primeape.
Yeah.
Really?
That's in the right
No?
spot. No, it's in the right
No,
spot.
you're
Yeah,
right.
that-
Sorry,
that's fine.
I'm
That's fine. You're
drunk
good.
and blind.
You're for truth.
I will accept Dugong being a solid team.
I'm
Fine.
fine with it. I
It is on
disagree
that
with it.
borderline for me. Like I can.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's there solidly. I'm just saying ice water typing feels like that's a solid pick, at least for its generation.
And I'm loud enough that I can defend myself.
There are Pokemon that I have like more vitriolic
Yes.
reactions to.
I can't be but so mad. It's fucking Dugong.
Hey,
Why would I
speaking
even
of vitriolic
give you energy for it?
reactions,
Oh,
Now hold on a goddamn second.
it is.
All right, I want to hear this defense of the Grimer line.
Grimer, you can put him in that sure is a Pokemon. That's
Yes.
fine.
Yes,
Okay.
I just want to point out that Grimer has very fun sprites.
yes.
Grimer. So
That's it.
I
I
will
would put-
rank. I will rank normal Grimer above Muck because of his face and
Incorrect.
his facial expressions.
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
I'm with
Muck has fantastic animations in Pokemon Stadium.
It does.
I had one when I was a kid, and I nicknamed it Link, so therefore it can't be bad.
Counterpoint.
You're gonna
Zelda
hate my opinions on Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. Counterpoint.
I'm gonna-
Zelda games are bad.
I'm gonna
Um,
I'm gonna expand upon this by saying Ash's Muck was based
exactly.
in the anime.
Now, I certainly am not going to stand here and tell you that Muck is because it's not.
no,
But it is solid,
it's solid.
Now
despite
he's
it,
goopy.
despite it himself.
That is true.
Now,
All right,
for Cantonian Muck and Grimer, I agree with this. This is decent.
I would
For
flip-flop
a
that, but
lowland.
sure.
For a Lowland Grimer, I would also say Lowland Grimer sure is a Pokemon.
Alolan Grimer sure is a Pokemon.
But a
I'm not
Lowland
too-
Muck,
Alolan Muck.
I have trained
I-
like 3 of these,
That's
I
fine.
fucking
and they are
love
solid.
Alolan Muck.
Alolan Muck is such a good Pokemon. I used one.
I
in one of my
honestly
playthroughs.
might even go so far as to say I personally would put a Lowland Muck in very best.
That's too far.
Can't put it that
That's
high,
too
but I can
far.
put it in Surskit noise.
I put in
Surskit
I've used
noise.
one.
I don't think I could.
He's my little garbage boy with fucking toxic crystals for teeth.
We're gonna get to our little garbage boy.
He's just like me for real.
I use Alolan Muck for a period of time in Pokemon Go battling, and he was very solid. He was a good counter pick for some Pokemon that people would use consistently.
Poison Dark is an ace type combination.
I
because
didn't
you
even give him.
complete-
I didn't even give him. What you said, Poison Dark, or
Yeah.
Yeah, that's its type combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had fucking poison moves in my game and would just wreck shop with it.
It
What does poison
is
beat fairy typing?
yes.
Yeah, I would use a Lowland Muck to counter like
Yeah, that was a
Azumarill.
big part of my very first Sun and Moon team. I had a Alolan Muck and I had Mudsdale. And so fairy types could not fucking or not.
Yeah.
No. I had Alolan Muck and that
Basically,
covered fairies. I had I had Mudsdale and that covered Alolan Mucks.
yeah, so basically, in Pokemon Go, you have 3 Pokemon that you choose, and there you have like different leagues. And in Great League, which is Pokemon under 1500 combat power, your team is basically Registeel, Azumarill, and then your third Pokemon is a counter for either Registeel or Azumarill. I never had my Registeel was built to be a counter for Registeel. So I was good there. So I would either use Venusaur or a Alolan Muck as my counter against Azumarill. So
Poison
that's why
Dart
I like him.
is just a great typing because the two of them cover each other so incredibly well. The Dark type gets rid of Poison type's psychic weakness, and then Poison also helps get rid or helps nullify a lot of the fighting and fairy weakness the Dark types would have. It is very and it's a defensive Pokemon, and unlike normal Muck, Alolan Muck gets a lot of offensive power. It's great. I loved using it in my. I forget if it was Sun or Ultra Sun where I used one of those.
I've used it both
Now
runs. I've attempted on Moon and Ultra Moon, and it is currently in my party in Pokemon Violet. It is part of my Elite Four team. But yes, Shelter.
Then there's Shelter.
That is
That
certainly
sure
a
is a
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Sure
Okay.
is a Pokemon.
Yeah,
That sure is a Pokemon.
that sure is a Shelter.
I
That's a
don't think
clam.
we've all unanimously come together to feel nothing about a Pokemon. That's
It's above
crazy.
Shelter,
It's above the Charmeleon line.
Yeah,
It is.
fine.
I can say that.
That's fine. The tongue and the beady little eyes are great personality.
What's
Now
your
for
idea?
The vagina.
Kind of the
Yeah,
same.
vagina.
Can I be honest
Higher.
with y'all? This is mine where I'm gonna do my little campaigning for Cloister here. I love this fucking thing.
Okay.
This thing is
Up.
I love it
Yeah.
so much.
I can agree
no,
with
I'm
this.
with you actually.
Cloister. Look, I know everyone's just like, oh, it looks like a vagina. Oh, there's that
But it's
double battle
useful,
in
pussy. Damn it!
There's that double battle in Heart Gold Soul Silver where the guy trainer has an Onyx and the girl trainer has a Cloister. Ha ha ha. This thing,
I've never had that before, Jen.
this thing.
So I had to get that joke. Continue it, man.
God damn it. I had it and I lost it. Anyway.
I'm so sorry.
Anyway, this thing is a defensive monster. This
No, it
thing,
is.
you can fucking hit this thing with a fucking super effective fighting type move, and unless you hit it with Focus Blast or Aura Sphere, this thing's tanking it. This thing, if you give it the ability Skill Link, which means all multi-type attacks or all multi-hit moves hit 5 times in a row, you give this motherfucker Icicle Spear, and there ain't a dragon on God's green earth that's gonna survive this thing.
Oh my
This
God.
thing, when I got one and finally started using it, was my ace in the hole for both the Dragon Elite Four member and Kieran in the Scarlet Violet DLC. This thing is, unless you're only thing I'd have a problem with it, it can't take a special move for shit. Its special defense is Garbo. You could hit this thing. You could have a level 100 of this thing, and you could hit it with like a level 30 Pikachu's Thunder Shock, and it's gonna fucking die. But as long as you use it against what it's good against, it's ace. I love this thing.
Eh.
I've never trained one.
I like Cloister.
And also, there used to be I think there was a Pokemon card that said that it was just a Ghastly inside of a clamshell, and I think that's pretty base.
That is
attached
pretty
to
base.
the
I was
next
going to
Pokemon
mention
on
that's
our
literally
list.
what Shelter looks like too. But on that note, Ghastly.
I love
The
this
OG
line.
Ghost.
I
The
love
OG
this line.
Ghost.
I do. Same.
I love the line, but that being said, Ghastly I would put in Gay Baby Gel. Because it is
Really?
the Ghost Zubat.
I put him in at least solid team member.
Okay, so these three
Don't get me
have
wrong. Sorry, I would.
No, go ahead.
I would put Ghastly in Gay Baby Gel because it is just the Ghost type Zubat. It is every fucking where in Pokemon Tower. Now, Haunter is definitely solid team member. Gengar
People die.
and Mega Gengar, I would put in A.
So
I would put
I put
Ghastly
Gengar
and
Gay
Haunter
Baby Gel.
in. I would put Ghastly and Haunter in A. And I would put Gengar in very best. I fucking love.
I love that line.
I love my round boy, my fat fucking ghost. I don't
I
know
can
what
agree
he's
with that.
eaten in his death, but he deserves all
Souls,
of it.
brother.
he's
Souls
a
and
dead
dreams.
he's a dead Clefable.
Here's my
So go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
No, you go ahead. I just completed the end of Cloister. Go ahead.
Okay. Here's the thing. Gen 1, in which they were introduced, there was only one ghost type move that did damage.
you went the exact route I was going to go down.
And it's fixed damage. And so...
Now you're forgetting Lick.
Well,
Lick wasn't
actually
ghost
at the
in
time
Gen
it was
1.
normal.
No.
It was normal in Gen 1.
Mm-mm.
Lick was Gen 1 normal, yeah.
It became
Was it
ghost in
really?
Gen 2.
Yep,
Yeah.
it was. Yep.
So, Gen 1, there's only one attacking ghost move that does damage. And it's fixed damage at, what, your level, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Nightshade.
Whatever your level is, that's the damage it does. So, what's the other typing for Ghastly, Taunter, and Gengar?
Poison.
Poison. What's weak to Psychic type? The type
Poison.
that Ghost was made to counter. That's right, it's poison. So
it's neutral.
they became...
No.
It's not.
No, it's not.
It's not
Because here's the
Ghost
thing.
is nor-
Here's the
Ghost
thing.
is norm.
Ghost,
Ghost is normally affected by psychic types.
exactly.
That's
Ghost
so
is
confusing.
normally
Fuck this
affected by Psychic. Exactly. So young David, I'm sorry, young Sek, shoot name.
game. I can't believe you do this.
Skis.
Whatever. I was the guy in the Rumblethon. Hi.
This is true.
It's not like our fucking names on out there on fucking Rock and Wrestling a Bridge.
That too. Hi, it was Nikolai Volkov. Anyway, so
I didn't
I
voice
was a
anyone.
background audience member.
I
So-
barely even wrote the fucker.
you did scripting. So
Barely.
childhood Sek
Mhm.
holds a grudge against this line
I'm gonna tell you, you gotta get over your trauma, buddy.
because they gaslit me. Gaslit me.
That's awesome. I think
I'm
that
actually
deserves
going
a.
to-
did his job.
You know what?
going-
That deserves Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar to go in the very best now. You
You know
got
what?
gaslit by them? That rules. That's awesome.
I'm
Give
gonna-
them their
I'm gonna-
flowers.
Here's the one thing I will say though. Before we started the stream, I asked my wife, "What was your favorite Gen 1 Pokemon?" and she did say that Ghastly was one of her favorites.
It's
so
because she's right and you know it.
Yes.
it's true. So
Also, Ghastly's first ever Pokemon card, he is weirdly 3D modeled, and I think that's uncanny and unsettling, and he
I
deserves the
love
world
that.
for it.
I love that.
So, I just want to echo Sek's statement here, and I
Okay.
mostly want to echo it because the anime also helped with this gaslighting because the anime pushed very hard. The only thing that beats psychic type Pokemon are ghost type Pokemon. Ash, you have to go get a ghost type Pokemon from Lavender Town to beat Sabrina. And then he didn't even fight her anyway. Didn't even fight her anyway because fucking Haunter just made her laugh, and then Ash just received a badge with no battle. And
it makes Haunter based.
Yeah.
This line in Gen 1 are fucked fuckers. And they are just, they don't, like, even if you had Ghost type moves, Ghost type was physical, and these guys were special attackers.
Yep. So until Gen 4, I did not like this Pokemon.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. I'll let you finish your thought, but I do have something to add to this whole discussion of them not being what they were meant to do.
So the main thing here is that even though they didn't have Ghost or really any Poison type stab in Generation 1, Gengar's special attack and the fact that it was not very affected, it was completely immune to normal moves and fighting type moves, two types that were running rampant in Gen 1's meta. And the fact that it could learn Mega Drain, Thunderbolt, I think it could learn Blizzard, it could learn Psychic. This thing fucking was still a powerhouse in Gen 1's meta, and it's been a powerhouse in most meta games since. And especially when the fucking special split came around, and this motherfucker was hunking Shadow Balls and Sludge Bombs everywhere. And it's also kind of funny to me just that literally the typing of these two was unique literally until less than a month ago when Pecharunt was released and became only the 4th ever Ghost and Poison type Pokemon.
So anyway, sorry.
I would think Ghastly goes in solid team member. I think Haunter goes in because it actually is the best design out of the 3.
Yes.
And Gengar, I honestly, if Swedish and Jen wanted it bad enough, I wouldn't mind if it went in very best. So, it can at least go in
So here's the thing. We talk about Ghost and Poison and it not having very many Ghost moves and the Poison moves not really being that effective on it. And then Hitman's right. It is versatile. Gengar and Haunter and even Ghastly, if you are playing Pokemon Stadium and you get any one of those 3 on your team, because the way the rental Pokemon work is the lower evolutions have better moves but worse stats, and then to balance that, the better evolutions have worse moves but higher stats. It doesn't matter which of those 3 you get in Pokemon Stadium. They are on your team. They are one of your 3. If you are playing Gym Leader Castle and you get Ghastly on your team, that's just as good as getting a Haunter. That's just as good as getting Gengar. Like, you get any one of those 3, you're fucking rolling. You have one of the 3 best Pokemon in Stadium right then and there. It just rises above its limitations. It gets its ass blasted by Psychic, which in N-level Gym Leader Castle, everything has Psychic and it will be spamming it constantly, but you still have a fighting chance with any of those 3 Pokemon. Haunter is the best of the 3 to get just because of the moves it gets. I think it has Psychic, or if it doesn't have Psychic, it has Psybeam, and I think it has Thunderbolt, whereas Gengar, I think, has Thunder, and I think, like, maybe Confusion is its Psychic move, and I think Ghastly has Psychic itself. So, like, yeah, like, Haunter just rules in Stadium. Like, Haunter's one of the best Pokemon you can get in Pokemon Stadium as a rental Pokemon, and his whole line rules for that. Like, I could make the argument for both Haunter and Gengar being in the very best, but I will accept that only one of them can go up there, and if it's Gengar, I'm cool with it.
I agree with Hitman.
I agree with Swedish.
Fuck all
I
of you.
love all three of these, and
Yeah.
I personally would put them in very best because I love them.
Yeah. I can relent on 2 of the 3, but one of those 3 has to be in very best.
So yeah, Ghastly in solid, Haunter in Gengar in very best, unless you have some very differing opinions, Rep.
I don't. I very much enjoy this line. I would absolutely put solid, very best, and I would also put Mega Gengar very best. I don't really give a shit
See,
about.
I don't give a fuck about these two.
I love,
Okay.
I love that they fixed the issue with Gengar Shiny with Mega Gengar. But I have no other feelings on Mega Gengar
Mega
besides
Gengar
that.
deserves to go. Mega Gengar deserves to go into very best solely off the fact that there was a point in time where it was the biggest fucking threat in all of Pokemon competitive battling. This motherfucker had Shadow Tag for its ability. It was trapping opponents in and just murdering them with nasty plot Shadow Balls and Sludge Bombs. This thing was a menace. They had to literally change its ability in the next game.
Why couldn't you've got me one of those, Jen?
Huh?
In Y files.
Oh.
Wait, what did I do?
Why couldn't you have gotten me a Mega Gengar?
I don't know. Get good.
Fuck you.
You
Gigantic Gengar.
I care not for any Gigantamax Pokemon ever.
I don't give a shit about this.
Like a jail, so it should be a jail.
I don't want to know what that mouth do.
I don't either. It's.
Eat
I think
everything.
he could go in actual prison.
I was gonna say the way it bores, it might deserve it, honestly.
You know?
Yeah, put him in actual jail. I'm sorry.
I don't care. That's fine.
I don't like it.
All right, I'm
Anal beads.
gonna go off on this motherfucker. This thing's stat line is the dumbest fucking thing on God's green earth. This thing is a fucking 20, 30 foot long rock snake. Why is it attack stat 30? Why does this thing have lower attack than Oddish? Why does this thing have lower attack than Bellsprout? Why does this thing hit like it's in a fucking pillow fight?
It is the shittest possible Pokemon I can think of. Because, yeah, it's a 30-foot rock snake. It should have fucking pseudo-legendary stats.
It looks so cool, and yet it's such dog shit.
I love his animations in Stadium. He's just always
now.
It can't take a fucking hit. It can't give a fucking hit.
There are 2 things that save Onyx from Lavender Town for me and just go to actual prison.
I'll be right back.
The fact that it goes...
Yes, its voice is great.
And the Crystal Onyx in that one episode of the Orange
Islands. Yes, that was Orange Islands. Yes.
That's it.
I don't think he belongs in actual prison. Like,
Yes,
gay baby jail, maybe.
Now, I agree. Jail. Put him in jail.
I like his design a lot.
I mean, actual prison. Actual prison.
The design. I agree with Switch. I don't think it deserves actual prison.
It's got the far-fetched saving clause on it in that.
Look, I get it. He's literally like the first big thing everyone runs into in a Kanto game with Brox. He is that first big hurdle. He's that first thing that, especially if you're a fucking Charmander trainer, you run across and you learn, oh, fuck, I can't just scratch everything to death and win.
All right, as a professional Charmander trainer, you've convinced me.
Or if you're in yellow version like me, you fucking learn.
Okay, actually, I think I need to switch the places of these two.
Uh-oh.
Of which two?
Of Gigantic Gengar and Onyx, just because what that tongue doing.
You know what? Fair.
Hypno.
I'm okay with this. Drowsy and Hypno.
And yet Growlithe is not an actual prison.
They're the consolation psychic. They're the Pokemon you get when you don't capture and execute, and when you don't have any friends.
When you don't catch a Abra.
Yeah, when you don't have any friends to fucking trade your Kadabra to.
I like their designs.
I like Drowsy.
And I like that fucking weird Hypno card I kept pulling in that one Pokemon card set.
I do not see them as going anywhere higher than these sure are Pokemon, if only just because of their relevance throughout the game series.
So, here's my thing.
Oh boy.
They do, and they have always had the stereotype of being like the weird, creepy Pokemon. They have multiple entries that state that Hypno like lures small children into the woods. That's fucking weird. That's
posted
cool.
in the back room the Pokemon, the Hypno card I kept pulling from one set, like constantly pulling, and this is the only reason I have any positive feelings about Hypno.
I used one of these in a Leaf Green run.
I don't think he deserves to be higher than this sure as a Pokemon.
They, as strong as Psychic types are in Generation 1, Hypno absolutely has its uses. Hypno is just weird because even today, and once the special split happened, Hypno is more of a physical attacker than it is a special attacker, and that is so weird. They have almost equal physical and special attacks, but yet they learn almost all special attacks. And I mean, you might get like Zen Headbutt or something on it, but okay, sure, I guess. They were fine in my Leaf Green run. I enjoyed the one I had. I think Drowsy can go no higher than sure as a Pokemon. If you wanted to put Hypno there too, I wouldn't be upset. But if you put it in solid team member, that's fine. He was a solid team member on my Leaf Green team.
So, is the consensus these sure are Pokemon?
I think so for Hypno and Drowsy.
Wait, who are sure Pokemon?
Drowsy and Hypno.
Drowsy.
Drowsy could be sure Pokemon. I've seen Hypno do things. That man deserves to be in actual prison. I will not elaborate, and I will not complain about him being in sure Pokemon.
But look at the picture I put in back rooms. Look at his weirdo energy.
Oh no, now you don't look at a picture of him.
It's a Pokemon card. It's a Pokemon card. It's a Pokemon card. It's fine.
Okay.
It's a Pokemon card.
It's a Pokemon card. It's fine.
That's
it's in the back
fine.
room.
He still deserves to be in
I think I pulled that card literally back to back when opening card packs before. Like, it was the last card I pulled, and then the first card I pulled in the next pack. I was like, why?
That's actually crazy.
Those cards are haunting this house somewhere. They're in this house somewhere.
They're in this house has never been a more threatening phrase to me.
Krabby.
Alright, I'm gonna assume there's not a ton of people that have a lot of big thoughts about Krabby and Kingler.
I love Kingler. I love Kingler. I love Krabby's cry. Krabby loves cookies. Kingler is delicious. Look at that big claw.
If we're talking about Krabby as an actual in-game Pokemon,
useless.
Sure is a Pokemon. If we're talking about its appearance in the anime, it's so that just balances it out to solid team.
I'd place it there. I would agree. I'm with Krabby the way Jen is with Psyduck. Rebecca bought me one once, and I love it.
Hey, if you want to put Krabby higher than for that,
no, I'm not like legitimately in that same ballpark because Jen loves Psyduck. No. Psyducks with Jen are like the typic line to me.
I love that Psyduck is the one that is placed on me as number one when there are other Pokemon that I place very high in Psyduck.
Well, I don't know what those ones are then. I just know that you do like Psyduck.
Absol?
Absol.
Yes,
Absol.
Thank you.
Yeah, see, I know.
See,
you love me.
So I will say, when we get to Kingler, I have no emotion to this Pokemon at all.
Neither do I.
I love Kingler. He's just cooler Krabby. Look at him.
Yeah. If we're gonna say that Krabby is based because of Ashes and it just saying the whole fucking time, I mean, all fucking Kingler says is cookie. So
Oh, put him in Surskit
So
noise.
he's even more based.
Put him in Surskit.
Plus, the episode where Ashes evolves in the Elite Four and just fucking sweeps a dude like by itself is based. Fucking Kingler rules.
They do so much to make such a basic Pokemon awesome. And that's what they do. He's just a crab.
Yes,
I would
Krabby,
eat the shit out of a Kingler.
And they have said that in universe, Kingler's claw is delicious.
That's awesome. I'd eat the shit out of Kingler Claw.
All right, Gigantic
Now,
Kingler.
Gigantamax Kingler.
I got no.
Who is this man?
It sure is a Pokemon.
That sure is a Pokemon, brother.
That's Gay
Now,
Baby
hold
Jail.
on a goddamn second. This
You
guy's
cannot
got a
tell me.
Santa beard.
He's got a beard of
And
bubbles.
I can call
Yippee
McFoley for
fucking-
that.
He's got a
Yippee
silly
fucking
little Santa
Kaye.
beard.
Gay Baby Jail.
No.
With
I
all
say
the other
he's sure a
Gigantamaxes.
No, he's sure a Pokemon.
No.
He's
this
fine.
I put
He's
Gigantamax in above
solid.
the Charmeleon line.
He's
Fine.
solid.
Okay, fine. If you all feel that strongly that he is above the Charmeleon
I wouldn't say
line,
strongly.
The
I
only
feel
reason
But
I
I
say it
feel
is
he's above the Charmeleon.
the only reason I say it is because his design, he turns more into like a snow crab with those long legs.
Yeah.
The bubble beard is a nice touch.
Yeah.
okay. All right.
It's probably the most useless of all the Gigantamaxes because who the fuck is actually using a Kingler?
You are not wrong. But look at it.
So can I reveal something real quick? I didn't realize he had a Gigantamax form until very
Exactly.
this very moment.
Exactly. You proved
That's
my
awesome.
point. Thank
Useless, but look at it. It's
you. Okay,
Oh.
now
yes, mine.
time for some decisions to be made here.
So
We're at
I'm
number
gonna
100.
lay my opinion out here. Okay, right. Regular Voltorb and Electrode, I want to say, are solid team members.
Wow.
Suya,
Okay.
Ah.
Wow.
Wow,
That is
okay, I
way
was not
higher
expecting
than I was
that.
expecting.
I was not expecting that either.
I agree that they're a step up, but a tier lower.
I can accept that.
They are sure
They are
Pokemon
just
and
balls.
solid when they become the.
Here is my thing. I put Voltorb higher than Electrode. Whatever we're putting as the baseline for this, normal Electrode, needs to be a tier lower than Voltorb. So if Voltorb sure is a Pokemon, Electrode, K-Baby Jail. It is
Ooh,
just upside
no.
down and not as interesting looking.
I'm
Dude,
more
he's
with
not-
Jen. I'm more with Jen and Sek here.
I
think
love Voltorb's design so much more than Electrode. It is
But
just
I love
upside
I-
down.
threatening
I
Electrode
agree.
is.
Electrode's
He's a
design is
smug
great.
little bitch. Like I'd punch that man in the face.
Exactly.
That's why he belongs in
I-
Gay Baby Jail.
No,
I-
that makes him
I-
respectable. He's not homophobic.
Shit, man.
I love
You don't know.
the
I
simplicity.
do know. I love him.
I love the simplicity. I love the idiocy. I love the laziness in the Voltorb and Electro line. We have this thing called a Pokeball. What if we made it into an actual animal that you catch
It's a
with the
man.
Pokemon? Because
What if we made it real?
they've never truly came up with a reason as to why the fuck Voltorb exists. They keep saying, like, some Pokeballs were exposed to radiation. Voltorb existed before the Pokeball, and the Pokeball's based off of it, which is what you'd think, considering Hisui and Voltorb exists. They can't keep their story straight with this stupid fucking thing that they
And I
made
love
as a
it.
fucking joke, and it's great.
I love it.
Voltorb is a solid team member. Electrode is I've used an Electrode in Alpha Sapphire. That thing can fucking outrun anything on God's green earth. It's so fucking fast.
It's true. Like
That's
the
the
most
thing.
ridiculous thing
That's
about
the
Volt.
thing is like its stats like in Stadium. You would think, oh yeah, you would love to have an Electrode on your team. No, No, you would not. Electrode sucks ass on your team in Stadium. Like, so many Pokemon
So Stadium
are...
sucks. What's your point?
I agree, but like, I'm basing this off of my experiences. I think, like I said, I like Voltorb better than Electrode. I just like his face is a lot more expressive, even without the mouth. But like, I don't know. I will always like Electrode less than Voltorb. The Hisuian, I don't care. They're this maybe a little bit better because I like the wood carving, like the graininess that they've got. It gives them a little bit more personality, so I like those variants a little bit more than the normal ones, but not by much. Not like an entire tier difference.
I rank them the same as I rank their other forms. Voltorb, both regular and Hisuian are solid. Electrode in both forms is I love that Galarian Electrode is just the most fucking look at this thing glaring you down. Yes. This thing wants you dead, and when you face it in its boss battle, it will make you dead until you realize what the fuck you're doing. That is a hard boss fight.
Hisuian Electrode just looks like Cotton Hill.
That just solidifies to me that it goes in Surskit noise.
Alright, so Voltorb's a solid, Electrode's an F.
Yep. I'm cool with that.
He is fighting out of his weight class here, but sure.
Also, their whole thing is that they explode.
You tell me about weight classes, you piece
All
of
them
shit.
explode. That is just their thing. They explode. They're
I
great.
gotta eventually train a Voltorb.
They explode.
The explosions are stored in the balls.
Just like me for real.
I mean, eventually.
Execute.
I'll let everyone say something about this thing.
Execute an Exeggutor.
It's fun.
I've never trained one of these.
I've wanted to. It's just
I've wanted to. They come up too late in every game.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I have not wanted to train one.
However,
feeling like that.
Exeggutor in Gen 1 was a fucking menace because it was a psychic type. All psychic types were menaces in Gen 1. Exeggutor is no different. For a good while, dropped off pretty hard. I've never used one actually. It can still be a really great Pokemon. And I'll just say it here, Cantonian Exeggutor is much better than fucking Alolan Exeggutor. I like the concept. I like that it's the whole thing of like, oh yeah, it gets more sunlight, so it turns into a taller tree. That's cool. Why is it a dragon? Why is it a dragon? Why is it a dragon?
Because it's tall.
No. That would mean Onyx would be a dragon.
Dragons are inherently tall.
I mean, why isn't Onyx
Onyx
a dragon?
is lame. What do you want from me? I'm sorry.
Also, Alolan Exeggutor.
Alolan Exeggutor will be more successful than you ever will in your life.
So I personally,
personal attacks, jeez.
I would put Execute in the Sure Pokemon, Exeggutor in Solid Team Member, and Alolan Exeggutor I would put in the Sure Pokemon.
I agree with those.
I would put both Exeggutor and Solid Team Member.
I agree with that. I would say both.
I can agree with that.
Y'all are nicer doing Execute than I am, because I put that bitch in Game 8 in jail. That thing's fucking useless, and I would crush them all.
I like how its faces are different. If they were all the same face, I would be on your side, Jen. But they're just different enough.
There's personality in those faces.
There's personality in those faces.
Out of
my
pity,
original reason for
one of
hating
them
these is because
dead.
I used to hate eggs, but I'm coming around to eggs, and I still hate these.
All right,
things.
Guy Fieri.
Eggs for Bart. Okay, so
one of them is dead.
Cubone and Marowak.
I have to, out of familial solidarity, I have to make the case for Cubone being the very best, because Cubone is my brother's favorite Pokemon. It is, and I actually love the Cubone design. I love the story behind it. I love the macabre nature of it, with it still being very cute. I think Cubone is a very underrated Pokemon, could absolutely reach mascot status if they marketed it right. Look at him.
I would say I'm okay with Cubone going into the very, very top, if only just because of the lore of Cubone.
Yeah.
Its evolutions I care not for.
Yeah.
Both of
Well,
them, honestly, for me.
I like Alolan Marowak a lot. I fucking
Alolan
love that
Marowak
gimmick.
is like a step above, but for me,
Yeah.
like, they're Pokemon. Like, they don't have as much of like an emotional connection for me
Yeah.
as like Cubone does, because like Cubone's story I latch onto and I'm like, yeah, I totally get that. You know, like I totally understand, you know, the loss of the
that
parent
mourning,
and
yeah, that mourning
the mourning
process.
aspect of it all, right? Right, like especially now that like I'm older. But like Marowak, both forms, I feel nothing for them. They are Pokemon.
I
Again,
would I would rank it
maybe
this way.
Alolan one above, but
Yeah, I would rank it this way. Normal Cubone, very best. Marowak, solid team member. Alolan Marowak.
tier
I
below.
put them all at least in A.
I can get behind Swedish. I can also kind of get Marowak and A. But I definitely agree with Cubone in very best.
Look, I had to make the argument for Cubone being very best. He is a good boy.
I always find these guys interesting because of the supposed connection they were going to have with Kangaskhan.
Yeah.
And how that line was supposed to be like, it was supposed to either be Cubone, Marowak, Kangaskhan, or it was supposed to be just Cubone to Kangaskhan, and then at some point they decided, nah, Kangaskhan's going to be its own thing. Cubone's going to evolve into a Marowak. But yet we're going to keep it with a Kangaskhan skull on its head and act like that's supposed to be a Marowak's head? What?
Yeah, don't worry about
okay.
it. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Again, same thing my issue is with like the Slowpoke and Slowbro. You just completely changed a thing, but you didn't change another thing. Cubone is one of those Pokemon that, even if you never had one, you had a connection to them because of the role they played in Red, Blue, Yellow, Fire Red, Leaf Green, the Let's Go games, with, killing the Marowak mother's ghost to get to the top of the tower. Not exactly amazing Pokemon battle wise. I'd say if any of them are good battlers, it'd be a Alolan Marowak. Stats are pretty middling actually for them, but they're not bad. Especially if you have a thick club on them. Oh my god, if you have a
I
thick
just
club on them,
fucking
Marowak.
love the Fire Dancer gimmick of Alolan Marowak.
Yes,
I think it
Alolan
works
Marowak,
with the theme very well of
Alolan
Alola.
Marowak does work very well for the theme of Alola, and it
Theme,
works
the
very
look,
well.
and even the type. I like Fire Ghost as a typing. That's a sick
Yeah.
ass typing.
Yeah.
Is it Fire Ghost?
Yes, it's Fire Ghost.
So it's completely different typing than its entire line.
It goes from a ground type into a Fire Ghost type in Alola.
It's pretty sick. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I love.
I'm okay with Cubone being at the top. I personally don't feel that much for it, but as I have said, if there are ones that people here are like, yes, that absolutely has to be at the top, I'm totally fine with that.
Honestly, from like a design and like lore and design standpoint, I think Cubone is the most interesting Pokemon in Gen 1.
That's arguable, but I would say both Marowaks, both forms of it are solid team members. They have too much personality to be just pure Pokemon.
Again, I would limit with normal Marowak being solid team member, but I think Alolan Marowak is a tier above normal Marowak.
If other people feel that okay with it, I'm okay with that. If Alolan Marowak were to be
so
second rep,
I can go with ground type Marowak, Cantonian Marowak in solid, and Alolan Marowak in A.
Okay, I think that means it's Kanto Marowak in solid and Alolan in A. Yes.
Yes.
Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan.
I love these fuckers.
Together.
I fucking love these bitches. Give them everything. They can have it. My wallet, it is yours.
Okay.
They were two of my favorite toys.
So, I'll put it this way. For the longest time, Hitmonlee was way better than Hitmonchan. Because, solely for the fact that Hitmonchan's main thing was that it learned the 3 elemental punches, and it took until Generation 4 for it to not use its shitty special attack for those 3 elemental punches.
That's true.
So, for the longest time, Hitmonlee was way better because it had high jump kick, which has a fuck ton of damage. It has a higher attack stat than Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan is more defensive than Hitmonlee. But Hitmonchan, you can do a bit more than just it's really good with fighting type moves. Hitmonchan, you have options, especially nowadays. These days, I'd say they're about equal. Hitmonchan has a lot of options that make it right about at Hitmonlee's level. Most people would still probably say Hitmonlee's probably better just because of high jump kick, and because high jump kick is like what nowadays 120 base power. And it has mind reader, so you can make it so if you're absolutely feeling frisky enough and you don't want it to miss, use a turn, use mind reader, it doesn't miss anymore. I would rank these two together, and I would rank them both probably in I can't decide between solid team member or Surskit noise. Everyone else can make that decision for me.
I would put them in Surskit.
I would too.
I love their designs. I love where their names are based off of. I loved having their toys. Hitmonlee's toy was the least flexible of them, but Hitmonchan, his arms were thin enough that I could move them, and eventually his arms would break off, and I was very sad because I had an armless Hitmonchan toy. But I probably still have that. It's probably still somewhere in this room. Yeah, I fucking love them. They're awesome. I never use them, but I still love those fuckers. There are many Pokemon that I love just like seeing them and being around them, but never had them. And the Hitmones are 2 of them.
Yeah,
Notice I only said 2 of them.
Sadly, you get a little too late in the game, and you've already got an established team by the time you get to Saffron City. Or if you're unlucky enough to be in a game where you have to evolve a Tyrogue into one of them, and God help you trying to get those stats to make it them the one that you wanted.
Oh, God.
So my dog is whining to go take a walk. So before I leave, what I will say is Lickitung deserves prison. It has committed war crimes.
That's fair.
War crimes.
That's fair.
Against my brain. I do not
Moving
like
on. Moving on.
I was also going to say Lickitung deserves prison.
There are things I like about Lickitung, but I'm not going to argue against it going to actual jail.
No, it goes to jail.
No, yeah.
No,
I have a running gag that proves that
you put Onyx back so they're licking each other. You put Onyx back so they're licking each other. That's fair.
Keep the anal beads out of Lickitung's mouth.
Coffee.
Coffee.
I think I just killed Jen.
I personally have never trained one. But as far as I'm concerned, the entire line For our Pokemon, maybe bolstered a solid team member by reputation.
They at least make it to solid solely based off James's in the anime.
That's fair. Okay, I'll
Fucking.
I was gonna say otherwise. I didn't give a fuck about these Pokemon.
I fucking love the fact that a poison type evolves to get a fucking tumor. And I fucking love that the regional form is the Industrial Revolution. But that does not put it any higher than the tier it's in.
As I say, let's hang on. Let's ease up there, Seabiscuit. So,
I fucking love this stupid bitch.
So, my thing here, James's puts coughing, like, anyone who fucking watched the anime will fucking literally, like, our entire fucking generation is to the point where when they get their morning coffee, most of them will probably look at it and go, coffee, because of this stupid fucking thing. I love, again, Gen 1's weird thing with you evolve, you gain an extra head. But I love that with wheezing, as Swedish said, it's a fucking tumor.
It's a tumor. It's cancer.
Its body. It's literally, these things were at one point named NY and LA because of the pollution in those two cities.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they were literally, coughing was Ni and wheezing was La to be New York and LA. Now, Galarian wheezing. The fact that this thing, it's not even the fact that it's an Industrial Revolution like Pokemon. The aesthetic would be enough. It's the fact that this thing eats pollution and puts out sweet smelling gas because it is a fairy. I love this thing.
Because the aura of you saying because it is a fairy took me off guard.
This thing, if you've ever seen regular show, this is Pops the Pokemon.
Okay, all right.
I love it.
See, I didn't know any of that.
I would say Galarian wheezing goes an ah.
Are there any
objections?
I ain't gonna fight you on anything.
I got nothing. I think he's cool because of the top hat mustache combo. So you can, as long as he's not below coughing and wheezing, I'm cool with where he goes.
Yeah. Okay. Rhyhorn and Rhydon.
I have no strong feelings about Rhyhorn. Rhydon, I would put it in solid team member.
They tried. They didn't succeed, but they tried.
Ooh, see, I like these two. I like these two a good bit.
I see Rhyhorn the same way that I see in Abra. It is just a stopgap until I get a Rhydon.
Yeah. Again, and I'm saying this a lot for a lot of these back end, later game Pokemon. It's a shame that you don't get this thing earlier in the game because it's a very good rock ground type. I used one of these at one point, and I'm struggling to remember exactly what team I used one of these on. I used one of these in one of the games I played. And Rhyhorn, despite the fact that it evolves at level 40, keeps up until you get it to 40. It's not like Ponyta where like you get it to like in the 30s and all of a sudden you're struggling to get Ponyta to level 40. Rhyhorn keeps up. It's good defensively, it's good offensively. You're never going to use it for special attacking or special defense. That's fine. You don't want it for that. Rhydon is always very interesting because it was technically the first ever Pokemon designed. It's the reason why, like in Generation 1, all the fucking statues and stuff look like Rhydon. It's because Rhydon was number 1, technically, creation-wise. Always was a solid Pokemon. Always was a great Crown Rock type. Even in, like, Generation 1 competitive, Rhydon was a fucking beast right up there with Golem. Got even better competitively when its evolution rolled around in Gen 4, and you could slap an Eviolite on this motherfucker, and it could take hits all damn day long physically. I like it. If Rhydon were to go in these sharp Pokemon, that's fine. I'd put Rhydon in solid team member, and if you put him in I'd be cool with him in Also, Aim for the Horn is a great meme. Also, Aim for the Horn is a great meme.
That's fair.
What were you gonna say, Jen?
I don't give a fuck, Captain.
So here's the thing with the Rhyhorn Rhydon line. Yeah. They were designed backwards. Rhydon was the very first Pokemon ever fully designed. And it shows.
Yep.
In fact, if we were redoing this list, I could even see changing the Charmeleon line to the Rhydon line. Because, boy, it sure is a Pokemon. It sure is an uninspired evolution for Rhyhorn. When you look at Rhyhorn, you have something visually interesting happening. It is a fucking, like, steel-plated rhino, essentially. And then it just evolves into Kangaskhan or Nidoqueen.
It evolves into a kaiju rhino.
Sure it does. Except they have better kaiju rhinos. They have Nidoking and Nidoqueen, and they have fucking Kangaskhan already. Like, they have this better design other places. Like, Rhydon both is improved by and suffers from being the first fully designed Pokemon. I would put it in this sure is a Pokemon because Rhyhorn is such a much more interesting design look.
Yeah.
And even though it is a better Pokemon, it doesn't do it for me, Captain. If it's in solid team, like, I can't argue too much against it. It's just so.
I do get where you're coming from. Like, visually, I do feel like it needs a little bit better. It does feel like you said, it's a Pokemon that kind of loses some of its design concept and evolution, and not in like a streamlining way. But it is just also, like I said, it is a very structurally sound part of a team.
If Rhydon was the first Pokemon you designed, sure, keep it as a standalone. Make it a fucking ground version of Electabuzz and Magmar, and then take the Rhyhorn design and make something fucking good out of it. But instead, you've just chained these two fuckers together for all eternity, and now we get nothing interesting out of either one. And yes, I am including the third evolution in that because, like, even Rhyperior suffers from being associated with Rhyhorn and Rhydon because they try to combine those two concepts and fail miserably.
No, Phoenix. No. We're
not there yet.
Chansey.
Think like a friend.
Solid team.
There we go. Solid team member.
An absolute bitch to catch for multiple generations because it constantly ran away from you and popped out of your balls in the Safari Zone. However, once we were able to actually use the damn thing in like generation 3 or 4, whenever the fuck you could catch it normally, special defensive monster, and even more so now with the Eviolite around. Oh my god, you can't hit this thing with a special type move, and it just fucking eats it. Now, of course, you fucking flick it in the face with your pinky finger, and it falls over and dies because it has physical defense of like 10.
I think so, yeah.
But otherwise, one of the first true, and even to this day, one of the best walls ever installers. You slap Toxic and Seismic Toss on this thing, and you can pretty much slowly eat your way through any team that does not have the physical ability to take you down.
And it's cute.
A godsend when you're grinding.
Oh yeah, and if you're grinding Pokemon, this thing is like your savior because you kill it and it fucking explodes with experience points.
Because XP is based on health, right?
Something like that.
I think so. I'd be surprised. Tangela.
I'm gonna let y'all go first.
Tangela sure is a Pokemon. Fun fact, the only pure grass type in Generation 1.
It's cute. I remember back when I was a kid, we had the Taco Bell toy. That was where you were getting the
Burger King. Burger King.
You're right. We had the Burger King. I think it was a spinner, right?
It was a spinning. It was a top. Yeah,
he was a top. So we had him. Whatever. And other than that, it has elicited no emotion out of me.
Yeah, it's one of those Pokemon that's
wow.
I don't hate it that bad. It's just it sure does exist.
I like my spaghetti with shoes. I don't know.
It's cute. It's unique.
He's all yours.
Erica used one on her gym team, and you could only catch it on that one little patch of grass, like south of Pallet Town, after you got surf. But I mean, its moveset isn't that great. It pretty much it sat for 3 generations of doing nothing until it gained an evolution in Gen 4 that was better than it, but looked weirder. It sure is a Pokemon.
On the note of its evolution, I will be placing it in the Sure Are Pokemon. I mean. Simply because I want somewhere to go when we get to Tangrowth.
Okay.
Yeah, this sure is a Pokemon for Tangela. I can accept that that's its feeling.
Kangaskhan and Mega Kangaskhan.
Kangaskhan is better Rhydon. If it goes lower than Rhydon, I'm gonna be upset.
Kangaskhan for me is a solid team member. I don't give two fucks about
Mega Kangaskhan is literally just, I'm baby and I'm here.
So
it's just Roger Jr.
Like Cubone fight?
So Mega
like a Cubone fight.
Really good and competitive, if I remember correctly, in VGC, right?
Mega was a menace and competitive.
So I know for me, on an emotional level, Kangaskhan is nothing to me. The only thing it's got for me is that was how I encountered the whole, Pokemon are disappointed when photographed from behind in Pokemon Snap. But that is my emotional connection. That is the entirety of my emotional connection to Kangaskhan. Solid team member is the highest I'd be willing to go. Personally, for me, it is a Pokemon.
It's solid. Doesn't really have a whole lot going for it outside of the fact that it's just a normal type that hits pretty hard physically. It had a cool backstory, and then they got rid of it. It made no sense when they introduced eggs into the world, and then your egg didn't pop out a baby. Your egg popped out a Kangaskhan that already had a baby in its pouch. How the fuck does that work?
Yeah, if any Pokemon needed a baby form, I feel like it needed to be Kangaskhan.
And the fact that they haven't yet is just fucking weird. But
the design is right there in the pouch.
Yeah, they finally did something with it in the Mega, and as I've said before, that Mega, oh my god, that thing.
The Mega, honestly, I would put it in the Sure Are Pokemon.
I think it's a solid team member because I think it literally is just. I mean, literally, Kangaskhan does not change. It's just the baby that changes. It pops out of the pouch. And
I can get
fights.
That. It's just more Kangaskhan.
It's just such a poor design choice that, I think it drags it down. Even if it was a menace competitively, it's so lazy. It's just so lazy.
I agree. But since it's so good and competitive, for me, I think putting it on the same.
God, they had to nerf Parental Bond literally the next generation because it was too good.
And that's why we don't have megas no more.
Yeah,
Because even after
probably.
the I think
You're right. Actual prison.
You act like it was a nerfing measure and not, oh, we need a new market thing to back on the box.
I'm just
That's
saying.
completely wrong.
Horsey.
Horsey is
That sure is a
cute as
Pokemon.
fuck.
That's a Pokemon.
Wow.
That sure is a Pokemon, Captain.
That's all I
I'm
got.
surprised. I'm surprised y'all didn't fucking want it higher.
Look, not every
Especially
cute
after
Pokemon gets my
especially after
heart.
Its
Especially after
ceiling
Misty's.
is solid team member. But
It's a horsey.
yeah,
It's a
Seadra,
seahorse.
Seadra's kind of cool. I like Seadra's design. Seadra fucking rules.
I'd put them at least a
better.
solid team member for sure.
Yeah, I'd say that.
That's
Yeah, I
a
was gonna
Pokemon I
say.
can look and be like, yeah, you fuck.
Horsey, I feel
That
like
is-
would be this sure as a Pokemon. Seadra would be a solid team member.
The only
That is
thing that
so
keeps
interesting.
Horsey, the only thing that keeps Horsey out of gay baby jail for me is its cry. Whore!
That is so funny to me because I am literally the complete. I would swap those two. I think Horsey's design is enough, and its appearances in the anime are enough to make it a solid team member. Seadra is literally like Horsey turned into Shadow the Hedgehog. It got
And that's
Yeah.
why he's cool.
I am all of me.
It gets better in the next evolution, but we're not
When
there
Pokemon
yet.
was
But anyway.
grave robbing Digimon, Phoenix, I should ban you for this
All the
such fucking
megas.
heresy.
The mega evolution.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Now,
Digimon
to talk about
It's dog shit and it will stay that way.
now to talk about another one of Misty's Pokemon that sure is a Pokemon, Goldeen.
Yep.
That sure is a
Both of them.
Pokemon.
Now,
Both of them.
I have a soft spot for this because my
They're
goldfish
just fish.
that I
They're just
had
fish.
in second grade that lived until I was like in high school or something was named Goldeen. Even through my parents banning me from Pokemon for 2 years, they didn't even understand that I named it after a Pokemon. So I have a bit of a soft spot for this thing, but it's a fucking fish. Its stats are garbage. It's a physical attacker when it's a water type, so you couldn't even fucking use it correctly until like Gen 4. Also, this all goes for Seaking as well, because Seaking is just a bigger, fluffier
Yeah.
fish.
Just a bigger fish.
They're both Pokemon.
They're both
show
sure
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Both are
Okay.
fish.
They both escape the Charmeleon line.
They do.
But they are right there on it. Like
They're
They
right.
are.
Literally,
They're just.
this could
they're just
easily
fish.
be the Goldeen line, and I want these two to know and understand that.
They are getting away with it and they should be thankful for it.
Here's the deal, actually. I would maybe even be willing to put Goldeen on the Charmeleon line.
No, the
Uh,
look. The Charmeleon line loses its oomph as soon as something else goes on it.
Fair.
I guarantee you there's something else that's going to go on the Charmeleon line by the end of this whole list. Not today's list, mind you, but at some point we're going to hit something else that, like, no, yeah, you're a Charmeleon.
Right. Here comes a line that I really know Swedish is going to have a lot to say
The
about.
very best that ever was.
literally, before we get to Starmie and Staryu, the only positive neurons in my brain dedicated to Goldeen and Seeking is Hank of the Hill.
Seeking.
I forgot. Also, the fact that Goldeen got
Sunday,
fucked on
and Saturday.
Goldeen got fucked on in Smash Brothers because that was supposed to be Magikarp, but they took its anime appearance in that one anime appearance in the first episode where it flops around.
I should do an alarm for building juices. But thank you, Phoenix, for buying a vial of anti-building juice. The army thinks General Joss will be displeased. At least until I post another Rhea Ripley picture.
True.
Lord help us.
Drake
The moment we
Cargill.
turn
Star
her
you?
into-
I was gonna
Oh
say, we
God,
can stand
yeah.
it.
Staryu, I don't give a shit about. That
Oh,
is
yeah, I
for
don't give
every
a-
Pokemon.
I don't give a shit about actual Staryu.
Staryu to me sure is a Pokemon.
It does enough with its design that I think it can move up to solid team member.
I'll say solid because it was Misty's best, which is hilarious because Misty had both a Star U and a Star Me, and her Star U was great. Her Star Me never won a single
Garbage.
battle.
Terrible.
Her Star Me was awful. Now, actual
Star Me.
Holy fucking shit! This thing is literally like one of the best Pokemon in Kanto.
Yeah, actual Star Me, I would say flat out here, floor level is up.
Floor is
this thing. All right,
I'm
gonna steal Swedish's thing here, and Swedish is probably gonna back me up anyway. This thing is a monster in Pokemon Stadiums 1 and 2.
Yep.
Oh my god! You put this thing on your team, and you can Bolt Beam. You're good. Don't worry about anything else. Just fucking go.
Yeah.
You win.
Yep, I pushed the win button. It's called Starmie. Look, Starmie in Pokemon Stadium either is God or can kill God, and I don't care which. It is the very fucking best in that game. If you get Starmie alone, you can roll Starmie, and then you can get fucking Caterpie, Kakuna, Metapod, Weedle, and then Magikarp as your other 5 to round out the team. You could probably still sweep half of the fucking gyms with Starmie alone.
Not wrong.
And the ones you would have difficulty with, it knows minimize, so you can scum your way through those battles anyway and just get very fucking lucky.
Yes, it's broke. It's broken Stadium.
It's
and
broken.
Even in the regular games,
want it to get fixed.
It's even in the regular games. As I mentioned at the Golduck entry, I replaced my Golduck with one of these in White 2. Oh my god, such a fucking upgrade. This thing just
Starmie fucks.
You give it a water type move and a psychic type move to fucking get stab off of, so like Surf and Psychic, and then you give it Bolt Beam, you give it Thunderbolt and Ice Beam. You're covering everything. Nothing can touch you. You literally have an answer to any fucking thing your opponent could throw at you. It's amazing. I don't say it's the best there ever was because design-wise, it's a purple star with a jewel in the middle of it.
Purple.
And it doesn't have I'll be honest, the fact that it doesn't have a face kind of kills it personality-wise. I know I'm giving like the whole Eric Bischoff, it can't have a personality if it can't see his face. Bullshit.
You've never watched the Power Rangers in your life, you piece of shit.
I haven't. You're right. It's Surskit noise on the very least off its battling. It's amazing.
I think of Gen 1, because it doesn't have a face, I think that makes it very unique because everything in this generation has a face except for this. Is there any other Pokemon that doesn't have a face besides the Staryu line? Even Magnemite has an eye.
Yeah, Magnemite at least has eyeballs.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Everything else. That's the only one. It is unique in that aspect. And I think if there were more Pokemon like it, I think that would hurt it more. Magnemite's the closest that you've got to it that doesn't have a face. I think it, because it's the only line that is faceless in this generation, I think that works to its benefit a lot more. And I think that like helps its simplistic design out a lot because they didn't go back to that well too often. Fuck, are there any Gen 2 Pokemon that don't have a face in that like same vein?
I can't think of any, and I don't see any.
Unknown still has an eye. Dunsparce technically.
Unknown would probably be the closest because it just has one eye.
Like,
let's see.
Honestly,
it's super unique for that.
If the consensus was high enough, I wouldn't mind if it went into very best.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm okay. I say Surskit noise. And I will not accept it being any lower than Surskit noise, just based off battling alone.
I can make the argument for very best because it's
I'm
God.
with you there.
I have to worship God.
I agree. It is very best.
I defeat gods. The fuck are you on?
I agree. It's very best.
Okay, I'm cool with very best.
Very best. Let's go.
Also, I don't think we're gonna find any. I don't think any Pokemon are gonna
Stop
pop out
trolling,
to us
please.
that don't
You're
have a
just
face.
intimidating me. You're making me realize the full scale of the challenge we have tackled.
Oh, after we get out of Gen 3, I'm gonna have absolutely nothing to contribute to these.
And here's
Mr.
where Jen
Mime.
talks.
Mr. Mime is a fucked fucker. Best that ever was.
So, I was gonna say, so is this where I talk? Best there ever was, but is this where I talk?
I mean, I know you have a kid.
I don't actually really have a connection with Mr. Mime outside of creating the character for roles of nature around him, because I'm like, oh, I can see a lot of fun bits I do, and you know, the whole bit in the anime where Mr. Mime's a fucking freak and an asshole, and I love him for that.
And he's fucking Ash's mom.
That don't remind me of that. Other people have earned that right. Mr. Mime doesn't get that anymore.
Wait, you don't want to know what those fingies do?
Mr. Mime has a very fun dance.
I do, Mr. Mime. I know what those fingies do. What do you mean?
So Mr. Mime has a
the very
fun dance in Stadium.
Yeah.
He is really good in that game as well.
Yeah.
The first Stadium game. Stadium 2, not so much.
He's also a fun character in the Detective Pikachu movie.
Correct.
Yeah.
Looks fucking freaky in it as well, but correct.
Decent character in the anime, has a nice little resurgence in Journeys.
Yep. It's like I said, he's a fucker, but he's best.
The very best. Yeah, the very best fucked fucker.
I would not.
My thing is, I can't do very best. I can't.
I could go. I would not put him any lower than that, though.
Look, he's a great Pokemon.
I can agree with that.
He's a great Pokemon in Generation 1 because he's a Psychic type. Literally, if you had the Psychic type on if you literally were a Psychic type, your stats could be fucking garbage, and it didn't matter in Generation 1.
He's
You're
being
still
carried
totally
by the
fine.
Psychic type, really.
And even as it fell off, it gained the Fairy type in Gen 6, which elevated it right back up again because Fairy types literally could do no wrong for a few generations.
True.
It's true.
The anime appearance of it and Mimey as being like Ash's mom's like housekeeper, and then the resurgence it has battling with Ash a few times in Journeys is fine. I can't get past how it looks.
He's perfect. He's a
there are
fucker.
people. Look, there are people that look at Hypno and have the unsavory thoughts. I look at Mr. Mime and have the unsavory thoughts.
I mean, fair, but also Mr. Mime's just built that way. He doesn't hypnotize
Hypno's
people.
built
He can
that
just
way.
make walls. Hypno's a fucked fucker and hypnotizes things. That's weird. That's why Hypno deserves
Galarian Mr. Mime is a fucked fucker.
Galarian Mr. Mime got named and speaking out.
Actual
person.
I was gonna say either gay baby Jill or actual prison. I don't know who this man is. He doesn't call me. I don't want him.
I would put him in gay baby jail. I like how he tap dances with the ice shoes.
I say he's a tap dancer. I think that's neat. Gay baby jail at the very least.
Oh, it's not.
He has a skill.
I love the difference between life and death is he can do a flip. All right.
No, his thing, he has a more positive vibe to him than I think regular Mr. Mime does.
He's less creepy looking.
He's less creepy looking. I absolutely agree.
He is.
I don't think I agree with that.
I'm sorry, I'm fucking dying at. He has a skill.
Yeah.
As if being a mime isn't a skill. They're both performance arts. Don't you downplay the artistry of mimes.
Did you mean to change scenes?
Yes, I'm forgetting the name of something real quick, and I want to double check it.
Okay.
Because
The opposite than Mr. Rhyme, who is like the singing in the rain fucking dude.
Yeah, he's Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
I thought that was
That's
Mr.
great.
Rhyme. I
Yeah,
forgot
I
what
don't give a
Mr.
fuck
Rhyme
about
looked
Charlie
like.
Chaplin, he's dead.
And he did a bad movie one time where he
All
pretended
right,
to be
allow
Hitler.
access.
You say I'm not ranking Charlie Chaplin.
To
He's
tell
below
us
the
about
Charmeleon
the,
line, I can tell you that.
We're not ranking Mr. Rhyme yet for a long while, anyways. So.
Charlie Chaplin is below the Charmeleon line.
He has a face on his stomach? What?
Mr. Rhyme does,
Oh,
yes.
Mr. Prime. Okay.
Mr.
Like-
Rhyme has a Mime Junior face on his stomach,
That's
basically.
fucking weird. No, actual prison. God,
We're not
We haven't
there
gotten
yet,
there
damn it.
kill him, assassinate him, put him in Minecraft hell.
So, when we are done ranking everything, I think we do have to discuss every Pokemon we put in actual prison and move one into Lavender Town. I think that is the final
I
ranking
think we'll
that
get
happens.
to a point where I'm gonna want to put something in Lavender Town. Don't you worry.
There's-
I was
I
gonna
think
say Lickitung fighting hard for it.
Lavender
No, we're
Town,
not there
Oh, no.
yet.
Lavender
There's one.
Town is a one per generation spot.
I
It
will.
has to be.
There will not be many Pokemon that I put into Lavender Town. There are 2 that I will put into Lavender Town.
I'm very excited.
All right, next
They are
up,
Sentret and Furret.
No.
Scyther.
No. Scyther.
Scyther
The
rules.
best there ever was.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
using Zubat
Okay,
in the
hey,
Wi-Fi.
All right,
Yes.
you two sticklers for what's the best in everything ever.
Hang
Please
on,
tell me why
hold up.
Technician and Cut
Hold
doesn't
up.
fuck through everything ever.
Ease, slow your roll. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
Scyther, Generation 1, aesthetics alone is literally the coolest fucking Pokemon.
Oh, hell
damn
yeah.
right.
Literally, like, I remember that I had blue version. You couldn't catch Scyther in blue version. I had Pinsir, and I love Pinsir. Pinsir's my boy.
Mhm.
But the fact that I couldn't catch Scyther made me so sad as a kid because it's the coolest fucking thing in the world when you look at it. Generation 1 and Generation 2, and I'd say even into Generation 3, Scyther is not that good of a Pokemon in-game because it doesn't learn a ton of stab attacks, bug and flying type moves, and even the ones it does know, it's not that great at them. Now, Generation 4, this motherfucker gets Technician, this motherfucker gets X-Scissor, he pops off. And he's popped off ever since. He's also popped off since the Eviolite rolls around. You slap an Eviolite on this bad boy, he's better than Sizzlor.
If we're going based... Sorry.
I would say at least... I would say solid Surskit noise, but if multiple people are going to say very best, he can go into very best.
As I said, Zubat carried my team in Y-Files.
Zubat?
That's a
Oh,
whole
right.
Zubat
hilarious
Scyther.
statement. Out of context.
I got mixed by that. God damn it.
Block this mix.
So,
Aren't you the one that made the Lapras joke when we were fucking talking about Venusaur?
I made the Zubat joke, and then I killed Zubat with my Elite Four team.
You did. No, you did. You killed Zubat. That's crazy. You were the only one who got a kill, I'm pretty sure.
it's very true.
No, I'm pretty sure like my entire team died except for Gibby.
What? Oh, yeah, you're right. Never mind. Continue.
So, my thing with Scyther is, like, 5th grade me is like, yeah, Scyther's the coolest Pokemon because it's got swords for hands.
Yeah.
But, like,
Yeah, correct.
you know, like, as I got older, I was just kind of like, it's just kind of like an edgelord Pokemon.
Yeah, correct.
You're only telling me you're getting lamer.
Exactly. That's basically exactly what's going on here. I'm okay with him being in very best. Personally, for me, he is kind of a or not an but an very important to
Very important distinction.
Yes.
I can hear Jen loading the gun.
But you know, yeah, this is fine.
This is fine.
All right.
Scyther isn't one of the best.
Jinx.
And then we go to this thing.
Prison, Lavender Town.
Oh my god. I was gonna say Gay Baby Jill or it sure is a Pokemon.
Yeah, Gay Baby Joe this sure is a Pokemon because Ice Psychic pretty fucking good in Stadium.
Listen.
You don't like looking at it, but
Listen.
damn is it solid on your fucking team if you get it.
Listen. It fixed up its makeup. I appreciate that. However,
did.
No.
It's I was gonna say I'm also the same way.
However, no.
But Zach, you're putting Santa Claus in Gay Baby Jail.
Good.
Santa
I'll
Claus
do it
later.
again.
We already put. Listen, y'all wanted to put.
Mega Kingler's as sure as a Pokemon. I can keep glowering it.
Y'all tried to put actual Santa Claus like way lower. No, jail. I don't care. We get to Santa Claus later.
Oh man,
I
agree with.
That's the most threatening thing I think ever said to a Delibird in my life.
I agree with Zach. I mean, Swedish because yes, it is a electric ice or ice. What?
Damn, I got electricity. That's crazy.
You're fucking me up here by dragging Electabuzz along.
Stop dissing Jinx.
You're punching my Jinx.
Moving different. Holy shit.
Stop. What the fuck? Can't make my point.
What are you doing? Leave him alone.
You get Taurus's ass licked.
Rep desperately trying.
It's an ice psychic type in a Gen 1 that's like 2 of the best types. It gets progressively worse as time goes on. Yes, it's based off of a potentially problematic trend in Japanese culture, and when it got to America, it made a lot of fucking waves, and there was a big fucking deal about it being a racist stereotype. But and it still is, even without like the racial overtones, it's an odd looking Pokemon. The big lips, the eyes, the weird finger hands, the dress.
Right.
It's just an unsettling Pokemon to look at. I'm okay with Gay Baby Jail.
They tried to do an interesting design and fucking failed.
Its typing keeps it out of actual prison for me.
Yes, that's I can agree with that.
Okay. Now, for the thing that was just punching it in the face, Electabuzz.
Electabuzz fucking rules.
I love Electabuzz so much. This is another one that I hate that I had blue version instead of red version. Sure. This thing is so much cooler than Magmar.
It's so true. We'll get to Magmar though. There's one reason that I might try to save it.
Yeah, okay, so Electabuzz, okay in Gen 1, it gets fleshed out a lot better in games going further, and I love that games further on allow you to access it much earlier, because it's in the early generations, it not evolving and being found so late in the power plant kills it. It goes in, if I was going off solely that, it would be in solid team member. However, it has the funniest fucking voice in the anime. You can't tell me it doesn't. You can't tell me that this thing fucking windmilling its arms around and going isn't the funniest fucking thing in the world.
Honestly, I would.
You sold me. Best there ever was. I was putting it in Surskit noise already. I love my electric types. I will always defend them.
I was also considering putting both Magmar and Electabuzz in Surskit noise.
Its head is a butt.
Hold on here.
Look, its Japanese name is Boober.
God damn it!
Immediately gets on Surskit noise.
He stole the thing I was going to try to say.
I love me a Magmar. I don't know if I can consciously put Magmar in the same tier as Electabuzz.
Absolutely.
I can.
Solid team member.
But the fucking Blaine fight though, it's so good.
Its head is a butt. Magmar's head is a butt.
Really
that is the only thing I'm contributing to this discussion.
Fine, it can go to solid team member, but it goes no lower.
I can agree with that. Its head is a butt.
Pincer.
We'll get to its evolution later.
All right, this is my fucking Scyther, baby.
boy.
I
Yeah.
love this
I
boy.
used to hate Pincer, but I am coming around the Pincer as time goes on
Pincer
and I get
suffers
older.
Pincer suffers from a lot of the same stuff that Scyther did, because in Gen 1 there was no fucking good bug type moves, and there continue to not be any good bug type moves until like Generation 4. Even then, Pincer didn't really get a whole lot of love because it doesn't fucking evolve. It's mostly just a physical attacker.
It's Pincer.
It's Pincer. Everyone remembers the fucking episode 4 of the anime where Ash's Metapod beats the damn thing.
Hey guys,
I think this
remember when
thing.
they were going to introduce like gender differences, and they were going to give Pincer like these tiny little nubs.
God.
Yeah, I
shoot
remember
me.
that. Pincer to me is one of the most underrated Pokemon ever. I've used one before in teams, and oh my god, it kills. It just you tell it attack, and it evaporates whatever is on the opposite side of the field from it. I would put it in Surskit noise, but solid team member. If no one else has any strong feelings against it, by all means.
I have
would
no
put
strong
it-
feelings.
I'd put it in Surskit. I like I said, I'm starting to like Pincer a lot more as I get older. He's a cooler looking design. Like, he's aggressive. The pizza is aggressive. The Pincer is aggressive. So like, wherever it goes between Surskit noise and solid team member, I'm fine with. I don't think it goes any lower than solid though.
I'm cool with if only just because again, mental image.
What the fuck is that thing? No, that goes to jail.
That's Mega Pincer.
I don't like his threatening aura.
Go back up.
I love his threatening aura. No, it makes him
love
cooler.
this fucking thing. He's Surskit noise. This motherfucker gained a
Yeah.
flying type when it mega evolves, and it gains the ability Aerialate, which makes all of its normal type moves into flying type moves. Do you know how fucking hard that thing's double edges hit?
Yeah, baby.
Fucking truck.
All right.
Fair.
Do we want to rank the Torai individually, or just put them
They're
all
all
in one
sure
spot?
Pokemon to me.
They sure are Pokemon.
Sure are Pokemon. The only thing that I can give you is that my wife had Papa Fuego and Papi Agua as the name of the Paldean Tauroses that she had.
Bless.
The fire and the water ones. Okay. I'm going to make an argument for Kanto Tauros here.
Okay.
In
My
that
only
it was
argument.
fucking beast.
Yes. In Generation 1, Tauros was the best Pokemon. Period. Hands down. No argument. You can't make an argument against it. Because its attack stat was so high, and because in Generation 1, you got criticals based off of speed. Its speed is high. It was getting crits like 40% of the time it hit you. Even if it was just hitting you with like body slams and double edges, you were fucking dying from this thing. And plus it had Earthquake to deal with, like the rock types, Golem and Rhydon. Pretty much you literally had to play other Tauroses to beat Tauros. It was so fucking good. Now, Gen 2, it dropped off so fucking hard, and it continued to drop off hard as the generations went on. But I think it deserves to be at least a solid team member because it can continue to be a solid team member. The other three, I just don't have enough of a thought for them to think of them as anything beyond. I mean, literally, my most experience with these three is literally fucking Salty DK Dan's Friendlock Season 3, where his
God.
just annihilates everything ever. But to me, they sure are Pokemon. Wowie Zowie, you made ones that were a little bit blue and a little bit red and gave them water and fire typing. I like that the blue one's tail is a propeller that spins around when it swims. That's neat. Otherwise, I don't care about them. Kanto Tauros, though, deserves to be at least a solid team member.
I get that.
Oh,
I'm good
I
with that.
don't give a fuck.
Magikarp.
Magikarp.
The best there ever was.
I don't know. Here's the one thing that I'm going to say against Magikarp. I'm okay with it going into the best there ever was. The one thing that I'll say against Magikarp is that it is starting to get kind of into that Pikachu territory of you're seeing it everywhere.
That's not Magikarp's fault.
I didn't.
That's marketing's fault.
Right now. But I'm okay with it going into the best there ever was, if only just because of in the first game they want you to pay so much. Like you buy one at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You buy one and you're just like, oh man, can't wait for this thing to be useful, and it's worthless, garbage, awful. You have to like get it to evolve finally for it to be anywhere close to useful.
That's why it's the best.
Is this really gonna be? Is this the first full lot? No, because there's if we're put a fucking Mega in that top tier with it, because Gyarados,
I mean,
has to be in the same tier as Magikarp.
Technically, if we're saying this is the first full line we're putting in Fairy Best, we technically do have Pikachu, right?
Oh shit, you're right. We did put the entire Pikachu so far.
Pichu's not up there yet.
Oh yes, but Pikachu technically doesn't exist yet.
So here's my thing. Gyarados, I do believe, goes in very best. Magikarp, I could have been fine with it being in either Surskit Noise or Solid Team member. These two are literally here for you no matter what Pokemon game you play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Magikarp line is literally available in every single generation. There's not a generation that you cannot find the Magikarp line in. They maybe in like generation 5, you gotta wait until the post game to get it, or you have to buy it from the salesman. But literally in like gens 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I think you go into 6 and beyond, you can get them pretty much near the start of the game. The moment you get that bad boy to level 20, Gyarados is literally an unstoppable force. Gyarados is the Pokemon that Nuzlockers have to make like special things of like, no, I'm not allowed to get a Gyarados this run, because Gyarados is so literally any town you go into that does not have wild Pokemon, but hey, it's got a little pond in it. I can pop an old rod in there and I can get a Magikarp, which means I have a Gyarados on my team, which means I have a fucking force to be reckoned with throughout the rest of this game. And my Nuzlocke is now too easy.
Gyarados Fun story. When I was a small child, big dumb child, I nicknamed my Gyarados Tony Hawk.
All right. Okay. That's awesome. That rules. So I love the Magikarp into Gyarados line just because of the reason why it is a koi fish that turns into a big fuck off dragon. It's like Japanese folklore. It's a koi
Japanese folklore that you see in Snap.
Yep, the koi fish swimming up the mountain waterfall to pass through the dragon gate to turn into a dragon. Now, this fucker is wrong. This should be the second evolution.
No, it doesn't deserve to be up there.
No.
So like that's the design.
No. Lower.
Acceptable,
but I'd rather be in it sure as a Pokemon.
I think it should go into Solid Team member, and I'm about to shit on its design a little bit, but I'm also about to sell its design at the same time.
It's the red numbers, right? Like that's the problem.
So they're in the wrong order. This should be the second stage evolution between Magikarp and Gyarados, because that is so okay. I don't know how many of you have played the Yakuza games.
Yeah, I mean some.
I played a couple.
No. Okay, so if you look at the back tattoos in Yakuza 1 of Kiryu, the main character, and Nishiki, the main antagonist. Kiryu, his back tattoo is a dragon. He is the full dragon. Nishiki's back tattoo is the koi fish, the full koi fish, right? Cool. You get that duality there. Now, we get all the way from Yakuza 1 to Yakuza 7, new protagonist introduced in Kasuga. His Japanese voice actor is the same voice actor as Nishiki from the first game. Cool. So we get like the brohood continues now in a different body. His back tattoo is the koi mid transformation. That's what that Gyarados is. That Gyarados is the koi mid transformation into the dragon. So that is the only reason he that is why he is both wrong, and I also love his design because it is the midpoint between Magikarp to Gyarados, but they put it as a Mega Evolution for Gyarados. So they fucked up.
That has
They
not made
fucked
me
up.
care about it any more or less.
So here's the thing. The main thing to me that ruins it is the fact that they made it a water dark type. We did not need another water dark. No, it is water dark. That is not the type it should have been. It should have been water dragon, or it should have kept its typing. Its attack stat goes up, but otherwise, I don't think people even use this thing when it comes to like mega evolving, because there's so many better things to use your mega on. It's pointless. Anyway, Lapras.
Venusaur.
Great. I love this thing. This thing is. This thing is. This thing is.
I was gonna say, absolutely. I like it. It's a decent Pokemon. I feel like is a ceiling.
It's cute.
Yes, it's cute.
Gigantolapras.
Oh right.
What the fuck is that thing?
It's Lapras of a
There is a Gigantamax form.
Yeah.
Hey, baby tail.
I like that it's essentially like it expands on the concept of Lapras is literally like transport across the water, so it just turns into like the Titanic.
Except it can only Gigantamax in the fucking arenas because of the confluence of fucking Gigantamax energy. It can't stay giant forever, so it doesn't make sense for it to have a fucking cruise ship on its back.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking weird.
You don't make sense to have a cruise ship on your back.
Fuck you.
Correct.
I can at least move around outside of this thing all fucking bigged up.
Bigged up.
But yeah, it sure is a Gigantamax form.
Oh no, I just realized what's next.
Best that ever was, baby. Listen, good. Ditto is the best parent in fiction.
It is, and I can't argue against it.
Nothing of it.
No, I
the most prolific fucker in history.
Like, I hate Ditto. I hate looking at Ditto, and I hate everything it stands for. I think it deserves to be in the very best.
This is your Mr. Mime.
This is my Mr. Mime.
Ditto might be the thing in all of history, fact or fiction, that has fucked the most.
You're right. It is the gender fluid. You can't fight against it.
It
has
quite
the
literally
most sex of anything ever of all time.
It is the most fucker.
It is literally.
Like Ditto canonically fucks.
Yes, everything.
The only thing I'll add is the fact that in lore, Dittos.
I do appreciate, by the way, we're having this conversation. Sorry to step over you, Hitman. I do appreciate we're having this conversation over the sad music that plays when Ash dies in the first movie.
Why are you playing that?
Because it's what's on Spotify right now.
What do you mean?
Why?
See, I just have vaporwave going on in my fucking world, but okay.
See, the only thing I'll add is that Dittos canonically are the failed attempts to clone Mew into Mewtwo. Yep. Dittos are all apparent, according to lore. Every single Ditto ever, even when they're found in the wild in other regions, came from those that were made in a lab on Cinnabar Island.
Which is crazy. The very best. Like
He
no one
deserves
ever
it.
was. He does.
He
I
rose above
think
his upbringing.
I think at this point,
And
it doesn't matter what I say.
You're damn right.
It's okay, Hitman. We'll just release our own tier lists at the end of all of this.
with blackjack and hookers.
And hookers.
In fact, forget blackjack.
And you'll put
In
Growlithe
fact,
where it
forget the
fucking
hookers.
belongs. And
Forget the
actual
whole
You
thing.
can be wrong all you want, Swedish. It doesn't make you any better.
All right.
Correct.
All right.
I'm not
We're
better.
coming up
I'm
on the
still
home
fucking
stretch here.
sick.
Eevee.
Oh boy. Oh, this is where I feel like we need to skip the Eevee and the
No.
Eeveelutions for
No.
no more.
No,
This
no,
is
we're
do it.
talking
the-
about this now.
We gotta do
No,
it
we're
in order.
talking about this now, baby.
All right. So Eevee to me, for the longest time, was like one of the cool Pokemon. Like I really liked this thing,
Mm.
and then somewhere about like Gen 6 or 7, the Pokemon Company just randomly decided this thing is at Pikachu's level, and I don't know.
I don't know where
why
they got that.
decided that. Yeah, I don't know
Cute.
either. Really.
It's cute, but it was never. They never before then had it got the marketing of like Pikachu level.
I
The
think they
whole
probably realized just how popular all the Eeveelutions were.
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure
They are.
merchandise-wise, that the Eeveelutions have always done well.
They
And
do.
so the
Yeah.
pivot to Eevee, because like, hey, if you like Vaporeon, guess what? You probably like Eevee too, because that's where Vaporeon comes from, bitch.
I
Like,
think that's a bad example.
sure.
Here-
But
here's
I
the-
Specifically, only in Vaporeon's case.
Yeah, but like you know what I mean, right?
I know what you
Like,
mean,
If you
yes.
like Espeon, then you like Eevee. If you like Umbreon, then you like Eevee. If you like Sylveon, then you like
I
Eevee. So
don't-
like, if you have all 7 different
Here's-
Eeveelutions with their fans, let's
Here's
call
my
it
thing.
90% of them are gonna like Eevee as well because Eevee is just baby.
Here's
So
my
like,
thing, though.
that's all that marketing money that you can
Right.
just fucking get.
Here's my thing, though, and maybe this is the whole point, and so you can feel free to just shit on me for it. Eevee is a vessel to Pokemon that I prefer, by which I mean, since Eevee is the vessel to specific Pokemon that I prefer, because I don't like all the evolutions. I only like half of them,
That's fair.
less than half
That's fair.
of them, and so for me, it's just like I like 3 of the evolutions. I don't care about the others. All of them, the other 3 are or the other 5 to me are nothing. And so there, for me, like Eevee just never has been one of those Pokemon that I've gained like that massive amount of an emotional attachment to.
Mhm.
So when it got its own game with Let's Go Eevee, where it said, "Oh, but actually, that entire gimmick that it has, where it can evolve
Completely
into
irrelevant. You don't
a
get
bunch-
to evolve it.
exactly,
Go
you don't-
fuck yourself.
no fun for you."
Yeah, but
I
like
don't
that's
get-
how
pissed.
that's how I felt in Pokemon Yellow with Pikachu because I like Raichu more. So
Yep,
like,
and you got told go fuck yourself.
I
correct.
thought you were
So
still allowed to evolve
Nope.
Pikachu
Nope.
and Raichu.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
no,
I know in Let's Go you
get
can't.
fucked.
I know in Let's Go you can't.
You can if you transfer that Pikachu to another game, but as long as
Yeah.
it's in yellow,
I was gonna say you
Cannot
gotta
trade it.
erase
And if
some
you
data
trade-
on it.
and if
Got
if you trade a Pikachu into yellow, you can evolve that Pikachu. You
Yeah.
just cannot
But you
evolve.
can't evolve your
Mhm.
Pikachu. Got it.
So like I like all the evolutions at a baseline level. Like yeah, there are some I prefer more than others. And because of that, Eevee's a very cute design. It's simplistic in its nature, but I think that works in its benefit because of how its pronged evolution ends up working. Sometimes simple works. Sometimes
This-
simple doesn't work. Like Goldeen and
Uh,
Sing King, simple doesn't work. But for Eevee, simple works because of its pronged nature.
Simple works because that's literally the point. Is that Eevee is a blank canvas for you to add
Yes,
on to as
to
you
paint.
choose.
Correct.
I think Eevee is a solid team member.
I can agree with that, and then we can
However,
fucking
I don't
fight
think
for
he needs
these
to
up
go
3.
much further.
Yeah. I'd say that's fine.
If we were tiering the actual portions of the list, I think Eevee would be towards the top of solid team member. But yeah, I
That's
think
fair.
going in solid team member is a good spot for it.
I think it's a solid team member. I don't think I can get it to for me, but I don't think
it's
it's
close.
For me,
sure
it's like
Pokemon.
every Eevee and every evolution is basically except for the
Yeah.
Mega Evolution, which I have no feelings about.
Gigantamax.
It looks cute. They're Gigantamax. What?
They're all Mega Evolutions. It doesn't fucking matter.
Not really, but whatever.
It's all the same gimmick. Transform, do something else, gain a new type. Who the fuck cares anymore?
Yeah, so, yeah, the highest I'd be willing to go for Eevee is a solid team member.
I can accept that.
Yeah, I say solid.
I can accept that. Like I said, I would put it towards the top of solid, like bordering on just because.
Wait, so
it's there.
Solid
I
team
can put it there.
We
Eevee
haven't gotten to the
solid.
evolutions yet.
Gigantic
That
Eevee.
thing is sure as a Pokemon.
That sure is a
Everything
Pokemon.
exists. All right.
Okay, everybody, we're drawing our battle lines
All right.
here.
All right. All right. Let me speak my piece here.
Okay.
So I've used Vaporeon, I've used Jolteon, I've never used a Flareon.
Okay.
These three all serve very wildly different purposes. Vaporeon is a very solid defensive Pokemon.
Yep.
Jolteon is a speedy special attacker.
Yep.
Flareon wants to be a physical attacker and couldn't really do that until Gen 4, and even then it was very bad at it, and to this day is still very bad at it.
Vaporeon is not one of my favorite evolutions. It's not one of the ones that I personally have a whole lot of attachment to. I can appreciate its niche though. So personally it's solid team member, if only just because, like, I don't know, weird fish dog just doesn't do it for me. But I can appreciate Vaporeon a lot more than some of the other evolutions that I don't particularly care for.
I enjoyed my Vaporeon when I used it on a Leaf Green team, and I enjoyed my Jolteon when I used it on a Platinum team. They both serve their roles very well. I think the two of them are solid team members. Flareon sure is a Pokemon. It just does not serve its purpose very well. The design is very nice. God, I wish it could do better with what it's given.
Now hold on a second there.
It's not. It just didn't give. It wasn't given what it needed to work. I think it shares.
I completely agree with you on Flareon. Jolteon, on the other hand, that's my boy. That's my son.
As I say, my personal ranking, influenced by Dogs in Love. Vaporeon would be solid team member. Flareon would be sure as a Pokemon. Jolteon is
I can accept that.
I can accept that as well.
Those are rookie numbers. Jolteon is the very best. Look at my electric dog. He is... I should have known that Manectric was going to become my second favorite Pokemon in Gen 3. Because look at Jolteon. Look at him. He's the boy. He's so cool. Electric dog? Fuck yeah. I hate dogs. I love this dog.
Like, the thing for me, I completely agree with you. Like, for me, Jolteon is best that ever was. Honestly, it is my favorite evolution.
His Pokemon Puzzle League cry fucking rules. He sounds like Homer Simpson.
I can get behind best that ever was.
You're really pulling out all the secret tools you've been hiding in like fucking Mickey Mouse over here. God damn, bro.
Right? Look, my favorite Pokemon of all time is and will always be Alakazam. Mm-hmm. However, my typing, I am an electric type trainer. I will always have a salt. Like when I look back at all the
can learn electric
Pokemon,
moves, so you're still covered there.
yeah, but like if I look back at like all the time I played Pokemon, I have very strong positive feelings on basically every single electric type that has existed in the first 3 generations, except for maybe one line. And we're not there yet. That's in a future gen. But like, holy shit, Jolteon rules. I have a plushie of Jolteon upstairs. One of my favorite toys. Like, I didn't realize I loved Jolteon until I got older and realized when I was like looking back at all the Pokemon, wow, Jolteon's kind of sick.
They're all out to me, so like the more positivity, the better for me.
Yeah,
that's two
like,
very best. I think it needs to be very best. Also, we probably should wrap this up.
I was gonna say, I'm trying to like start going a little bit quicker. For example, Porygon caused actual
Porygon deserves
seekers
to be in
prison.
jail because of what he did to those Japanese kids.
True. True.
All right,
True.
I don't have any thoughts about it.
Ammonite.
It's
Sure.
a meme,
Ammonite and
but it's a
Amistar.
Pokemon.
They're both
Ammonite,
Pokemon to me.
Sure is a Pokemon. Lord Helix deserves to be an at least solid team member because it's pretty fucking good.
I can agree with that.
I'll take your word for it.
Kabuto.
Kabuto and Kabutops.
Kabuto sure is a Pokemon. And
Kabuto sure is a Pokemon. Kabutops
Also would have been mine.
He's old Scyther.
Kabutops is... Yeah, I think he's worse Scyther, but...
He is
Well,
worse.
Yeah.
he's worse Scyther, but he's old Scyther, so he's allowed to be worse.
Kabutops
correct.
is old Scyther and actually old Genocide.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. I love Aerodactyl.
I love
his
this goofy little motherfucker.
his animations in Stadium fucking rule. He gets
Yeah,
the
I'll say-
happiest feet when he uses fly. He's just
Aerodactyl
in the air.
in Mega Aerodactyl in...
I don't know who this man is.
Who
Solid
the
team
fuck
member.
is that?
Mega Aerodactyl is a solid team member.
Mega Aerodactyl is just Aerodactyl with more spikes.
Mega Aerodactyl is supposedly what
stabbed
Aerodactyl looked
him?
like earlier than that. Like, apparently that's like what it looked like in earlier times than what Aerodactyl
They should have
actually
kept
looked
that.
like.
They should have put that back in the oven, Captain. They were not
That's
cooking,
why
in
they-
fact.
That's why they died off, Chen.
Fuck, you're right.
Snorlax and...
The best
Best
there
there
ever
ever
was.
was.
Yeah, no, okay, all right, good job, team. We did it. That was easy.
Even if I were to go off of
Gay baby
like,
jail. What the fuck is that?
It's Gigantic
Even if I were to go-
Snorlax.
that sure is a Pokemon. Even if I were to go off of competitive, Snorlax is one of the best Pokemon ever all the time.
True, and
All
true.
right.
Articuno.
Articuno.
Ah,
And Galarian Articuno.
I like its color scheme. It looks prettier.
I love this gay bird.
Solid, but that's
Zapdos.
Best there ever
bordering
was.
on best there ever was.
Honestly, ever
Galarian
both
Zapdos.
Best
I would
there
also
ever
put in...
You know
Oh.
my loyalties
Because
lie
it's a
for
big
these
chocolate.
I love that
fuckers.
dumb chicken.
I love my
love
Zapdos
him.
babies.
He was a bitch to catch.
Moltres.
And maybe that's why I love him so much.
They're all I love
I
their
love
color
my
schemes.
French bird.
Solid
I
team
love the
member
color
for me.
scheme for this one.
And Galarian.
God bless you.
Galarian.
God bless you when Stealth Rocks came around. Moltres.
Dratini.
Bastard.
Ah.
Yeah.
Save for
Dragonair. And Dragonite.
My legitimate favorite Pokemon of all time.
I was gonna say that's a very
Okay,
best.
never mind.
That's very
Best
best.
that ever
Never mind,
was.
I get to go on
That
very
sets
It
bad.
is
it
a
up.
monster. It finally is getting its flowers in Scarlet and Violet competitive. It is the best there ever was. It is my favorite Pokemon. I
Okay.
actually have a fucking
Yes.
plush of this damn thing.
That's awesome.
Anyway.
Yes.
I really
Correct.
do like Dragonite a lot. So you having him as your favorite, perfect.
The very best.
Mewtwo.
Very best there
Best.
ever was.
The very
The
best.
very
there
best.
ever was.
Even
Mewtwo.
to this day.
That man
X.
killed people.
Still a menace.
I don't know him. I don't know him.
I don't know
no,
what is
you
this.
don't put him up there. That is a
That
solid
sure
team
is a
member
Mega
at
Evolution.
best.
I was gonna say that sure is a Pokemon.
That
I don't
sure
know
is
who
a
this
Pokemon.
Pokemon is.
Mega
Who
Mewtwo
gave him
X did
armor?
not get. Mega Mewtwo X didn't do nearly as well as Mega Mewtwo Y did.
Holy shit! It's Mega Mind.
That's at least no.
fucking...
Mega Mewtwo X should go a tier lower than that one. I don't
I
like
agree.
either of them that
I
much.
agree. I don't think they should be. I was gonna say they should not be on the same level.
And
The very best.
The very best. Fuck this guy in Pokemon Snap. I spent hours, literal fucking hours, literal actual hours of my real life time getting a perfect picture of that bitch.
I'm sorry.
There's a website that tracks, like, people can upload photos of Pokemon Snap catches.
Mm-hmm.
There are less than 70 people in the world with recorded instances of a perfect picture of Mew in Pokemon Snap.
That sounds about right.
That's how fucked of a fucker Mew is in Pokemon Snap, and I love him for it.
Correct.
Also, fuck him for it.
Also,
all right. Who's going to Lavender Town, and why is it Lickitung?
Okay, so first off, when I said we needed to speed up, I didn't mean that fast. We still have like 14 minutes.
Well, we're gonna need 14 minutes to discuss Lavender Town.
I know it is. I'm just gonna quickly hit the one that I think needs to be hit, or the two that I think need to be hit a little bit more, and that's Snorlax.
Okay.
Snorlax to this day is still like, it's one of the most popular Pokemon for a reason.
Yep.
Literally was named and designed after a dude on the staff who just looked like that and likes to eat and sleep all the time on the job.
Bless.
That man is immortalized as a Pokemon, and you can fight him in the Gen 5 games where he has a Snorlax on his team, and his entire team is bulky Pokemon with leftovers.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Snorlax constantly has been a threat in competitive Pokemon. This thing has so much HP. It has so much special defense. Its attack stat is really good. It can learn a fuck ton of moves. This thing was the best. Tauros in Gen 1 passed the torch to Snorlax in Gen 2. Snorlax is literally like one of the best Pokemon in Gen 2 competitive. Every time I watch like a historical competitive Pokemon thing, anytime they talk about Gen 2, they're like, fucking Snorlax, man.
Fucking Snorlax.
I love that thing. I never really truly used one. Like, you know, I'd catch one of the ones in Gen 1 and then fucking, like, you know, it would stay on the team for a little bit, but I'd never really do a whole lot with it. I have one of these in Scarlet right now. Oh my god, Pound Cake fucking annihilates everything. I love her so much. The other one I want to talk about is Mewtwo. The original big bad post-game final boss legendary.
It's Edgelord.
And
it's Shadow.
to this day, is still a fucking threat and competitive.
Yep.
Still in the Ubers tier. Still, like, brings fear into the hearts of people that have to face it in competitive Pokemon. It's that fucked up. Stats-wise, moveset-wise. It is horrifying still to face. Everyone remembers figuring out after they beat the Elite Four that they could go in the Cerulean Cave and find and catch this thing. Everyone remembers fucking beating all the stuff in Pokemon Stadium and the whole menu turning to nighttime and that thing flying over your head and you got to go fight it.
I as a child, I never got that fucking far.
I never got that far either. Everyone remembers fucking all the instances of this thing. Everyone remembers it in the movie and it fucking being like terrifying in Pokemon the first movie. It is the legendary Pokemon. The standard has barely. Don't you take
what
him
the
back?
Fuck are you doing?
Put him back up there. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Put some respect on my boy.
Fine. I'll shut up about Mewtwo. If we're putting anyone in actual prison, my choices are either Lickitung or Onyx.
You mean in Lavender Town?
My Shadow Realm pick is actually going to be Gigantamax Gengar.
Gengar? Ooh, that's a good one.
And
I'm referring to that bottom tier as under the jail as opposed to Lavender Town, which also makes thematic sense.
True.
Go ahead, though.
No. I would say Gigantamax, Gengar, if only just because in terms of gimmicks that Pokemon has had between Mega Evolution, Terrestrialization, and Gigantamaxing and Dynamaxing, I think that Gigantamaxing, Dynamaxing, oh, I forgot Z-Moves. But between all four of those main gimmicks that they've come out with, I think that Gigantamaxing is one of the dumbest.
True.
You're not
It
wrong.
gave us one good thing, and that's Fat Pikachu came back.
That is the only thing that it did right, was Fat Pikachu. Everything else, garbage, get it in. I don't like it. And for me, Gigantamax Gengar is the worst one, so therefore it deserves to just be the representative of under Pokemon jail.
I am inclined to agree with you, either Gigantamax Gengar or Onyx. Because Lickitung at least gives me the funny laughs of the Jesse Lickitung PNG that I will always have for the rest of my life.
Very
true. I'm just having too much fun doing shit like this.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. Well, maybe not under the tower, but I'm not opposed to putting Nidoqueen in jail.
No.
I think it's got to come from the actual prison. Like, I don't think anything that we have in Gay Baby Jail deserves to be in actual prison.
No.
Zubat is close.
I was gonna say Mr. Rhymes close.
I was gonna say Jinx is close.
I fucking think Growlithe is close, so fuck you all. But, oh man.
What do you feel, Swedish? What do you feel in the prison deserves to be
I feel like it would be wrong to put Gigantamax Gengar as our first representative under the jail.
But it's a war monster.
I understand that. Now, when we look at this line, we have 6 Pokemon.
Yes.
2 are regional variants that weren't in the original 151. 1 is a gimmick form from a later generation. And that leaves us with 3 OG Pokemon.
Okay.
That with the combination of designs, representation, and use cases have landed themselves as the bottom of the barrel of their generation.
Okay.
They were not better than Jinx. They weren't better than Boom. They weren't better than fucking Zubat. One of those 3 deserves to go under the jail.
I would say then Onyx. Because Lickitung's there because of a meme, and Porygon is there because of the fucking
Porygon's committed
seizures.
Actual crime.
But that doesn't mean he deserves the death
Onyx is
penalty.
here because Onyx fucking sucks.
Now, let's be fair to Porygon here. Porygon actually didn't commit those seizures. Pikachu did.
It's true.
That's also true. No, you're right.
Porygon was
framed.
You're right.
And its line have not been.
No.
And its line have not been in the anime since.
Porygon was just the fall guy.
Yeah,
and I think that's
Porygon's
admirable.
Right back
And
up.
Fucking crazy.
I think that's admirable. I think Porygon should just do his time. He'll get parole for good behavior eventually.
But he hasn't.
Anal
It's been 20.
beads.
It's been 20 something. It's been 20 something years, and he hasn't. Nor
He
has
has not
Porygon
escaped
2
the
or Z.
allegations.
Put the anal beads under the jail.
Yeah, get Onyx in there.
I am
He is.
surprised y'all
he is
actually went with
so-
Onyx and not Lickitung.
So here's the
Lickitung is
thing.
funny.
Yeah, Lickitun's funny. He's got the mini game in
Lickitung
Stadium.
has a use.
Yeah.
Onyx is a
Onyx
bitch.
is such a fumble. Like, Onyx, look how you massacred my boy. You could have been something. You could have been a contender. Onyx
Instead,
could
you're
have
dead.
been. Onyx could have been Surskit Noise. Just design-wise alone. Giant fuck-off rock snake. Haha, funny anal beads joke. Yeah. But he sucks. I've
I
never
am-
looked at an Onyx and been like, "Oh my God, you're a threat," and I've never used an Onyx like, "Oh my God, you're gonna be a threat." It's like, "Oh, you're here
Every
too,
Onyx
I
I've looked
guess."
at, I'm like, oh, you're dead.
Like you're.
I am astounded that y'all are agreeing with me on the actual gameplay side of Onyx to this point.
Hitman, this is how much it means to me. I have been judging a lot of these Pokemon not really based on their stats for the most part. I really couldn't give a fuck for a lot of their uses in gameplay because I don't think about Pokemon like that. That's not how I play the game. Onyx is the biggest bitch that ever bitched. This bro can be I look at him, he's dead. That's it. It's over. He is just rocks, and he is nothing more than that. He is somehow weaker than an actual rock I could walk outside and pick up.
He's weaker
It's
than
fucking
Oddish.
crazy.
Onyx sucks
is?
so bad. It is a ground type Pokemon that lost to an electric type.
It's true.
Literally. Bro's fucking useless.
Like, Bruno has 2 of them.
He does.
And that is the
And he-
entire reason that he is an absolute joke.
Yep.
And he keeps one of them in Generation 2.
Yep.
Don't know how, but he does.
I like to think you just replaced parts from one of them with the other.
My Mega Onyx.
I think Bruno having 2 Onyxes in the Elite Four is a testament to how good Bruno is as a trainer.
No, it's not.
That literally was an episode
He
of the
made
anime.
it that far with 2 shitty ass Onyxes.
I think it
Onyxes?
just shows that he's a fucking dude who loves his bits and was throwing for content.
That too.
I was going to say it shows how good his Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, and Machamp are, but okay, whatever.
He's
That
throwing
too,
for
but, like,
content.
He's got the weighted training clothes on with 2 fucking Onyxes. He has them draped. One is a scarf and one
Alright.
is his belt.
I mean, I'm the dude who had the fervent Onyx rant, so I'm okay with this.
Famous Man Onyx rant.
Yeah.
Yeah, so from here, is there anything else we would want to put forward or something?
We gotta go to bed, Cam. We can't
I was
keep
gonna
talking.
say
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think
If
I
you
think
start,
what we got
will
right
not
now
stop.
is good. I think what we got right now is fine.
Yes.
Yes.
I was gonna say,
I
you
was
have-
just saying anything else in general, not just like more Pokemon on the tier list.
Well,
So
you
from
mean
here
like-
then, let me get that set up.
Go ahead.
I still think Growlithe sucks.
So then,
You could be wrong.
that will be it
fucking
for
more, you
today.
bitch.
I do want to try and do a stream sometime this weekend, probably early in the day. Might be. I was thinking last week maybe fucking 2K20 career mode just for shits and giggles. So I might do that over the weekend. But thank you all for coming out. And do we have any plans for tomorrow or coming up over the weekend?
I don't plan shit, Captain.
I might try to stream something tomorrow. Maybe like Undertale Yellow.
There you go.
Because I haven't touched that yet at all.
Right.
And I kind of want to ease myself back into something because I'm sick. I've got COVID. So I need something that I can't do Fortnite on stream right now. I think it would kill me.
I would kill you. The amount of energy it takes to raid me and you'd be fucking done, Cap.
Yeah, correct. But
Yeah.
like, I kind of want to do something maybe tomorrow. So maybe look forward to that. It might be Metal Gear Rising. It might be Undertale Yellow. It's possibly something tomorrow night.
Well, I'm
Right
off
then,
tomorrow,
just
so-
in case. Yeah, I'm off tomorrow night. So yeah, fucking, I'm gonna raid you then. Follow Swedish. He'll be on tomorrow night, hopefully. And you all have
Unless
a
the
good rest of
vid
your
kills
night.
me. Which is still possible.
In which case, we'll be streaming Swedish's funeral at twitch.tv/.
I was about to
Oh, I
post
can't
something
wait for you
post
all
on
to
Twitter.
let me down
Or
one
on
final time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.